It's the Tanya Burns Show. Tune in right now. Like and share, our city needs that file. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tanya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. In a step it all renews.
Hey, y'all, look, happy and blessed Sunday afternoon. Welcome to the Tanya Burns Show. And if you haven't been here before, look, drop your name and your number and where you're at, where you're coming from. And Leon, it's been a minute, but we're going to have a series coming up. So the ADM, Joseph Williams, and here we is. I just like saying that, y'all. Kamala Buford, Sydney Green, Alien Superstar. I got to go up, y'all, so y'all know my little stuff be behind. Producer Jay, check for the Facebook Live. Gunna Black, you was the first one on. Good evening. JP6 Meats Freaks Barbecue. I just like saying that too. I do. And I like saying when Miss Hattie Burns come on. I like saying her name. Miss Hattie Burns. And she's not a relative. I just like her name. So listen, wherever y'all at, and here he is, Joseph Williams. Good evening. So with Ernestine Smith, Diane Thornton, hey, Dave Bergeron, R.J. Brown. Oh, listen, I'm trying to scroll this down, y'all. It's a lot going on. Ernestine Jimmy, that's it, Ernestine Smith. Listen, we got a lot to cover. And as I was going over, people keep saying, oh, your show's at 5 hours, not go to sleep. So because it's a lot and we're off on break, I don't even know what that means because y'all, just so y'all know for the record, the budget, the mayor tried to pull a slick one. And so it has to be some amendments to it. It's still technically not signed. He tried to slide that $68 million. Now, come on now, Mr. CFO. We're not having that. We're not having that. But anyways, I don't know what break means. So Kendrick Jones, Sequoia, Eddie Gray, Charlotte Bound. Oh, Massachusetts. Good evening. God bless you. Oh, from the great state of Massachusetts. Look, representing your state. Oh, look, I'm impressed. R.J. Brown, Miss Kawana Mack, Debbie Clark, Tasha Lynn. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And if I didn't say your name, y'all know I can't keep it with the chat because it goes too quick for me to follow. Producer Jay, if you can, and let me say to Producer Jay and to our moderators, I don't know if they're in here yet, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean. Hey, Terry Hatcher. Sweet Cupcake. I like that name. I like that name. Deborah Thompson. I know it's been a while. Hey, Bev. Beverly Biggs, who's running for 3rd Ward, is in the house. I don't think all my stuff is showing up. Hey, Patrick Jean, and hey, yo. Oh, no, mine's just stuck, y'all. Kevin Lofton. I'm not going to be able to keep up tonight. I'm just telling y'all. I'm not going to be able to. Christopher Sims, hey. I am Jasmine M, JP6 again, Reed Johnson, Adams Bauer. Reed sends me a prayer every morning, and sometimes I just can't respond every day. But I be trying to. I be trying to. Tara, hey, listen, we're gonna do a series. Cicero McGill, hey. So we're going to do a breakdown of the series. And right now, I need everybody that's in there, just click the like button, hit the heart, click the like button if you're on Facebook, so we can push out the algorithm, because I want to get this covered. We have got a lot of things to cover. We're going to cover things in slots, because we would be on here till Christmas if I tried to cover everything today. And so we gonna do it in slot. Hey, Tiffany Wooding. And I'm loving me some YouTube, Maria Portia, Granny G. Look, I wish I was a granny. Look, if anybody wants their kids to be taught about birth control, sex education, let me teach them. Because listen, my kids are like, nah, you taught us sex education and how it's going to affect us financially. We're just going to take our bread and spend it on ourselves. Shantae, hey, beautiful. So listen, Producer Jay, can you tap in? Are we on Facebook? Because I did not see it live on Facebook. But if everyone could click those hearts so we can push out the algorithm, there's a lot to talk about. There is a lot.
The Facebook is live.
Okay, maybe it was a delay on my end. Y'all know my internet is just a little off. Hey, Mario Singleton and Barb. Okay, I see it now. I see some of the Facebooks. Okay, we good. So listen, at the end of the show, we're going to have a tourist in. We're going to have some call-ins. I'm really trying to be respectful. Michael Clack called with a request that we stay on for 3+ hours. Now, y'all yell at Michael Clack if it go over, because I'm going to try not to. He had a whole speech that he wanted to for 3 hours and to listen to it like we're serious radio. We're going to cover some stuff, though. So listen. Some of the things that we're going to cover the ACLU and that letter. This is just the stuff today. Now, we know letters is popular because Seamus Bannon and sent 2 on me. I have a video with Seamus, put the second video up. And I want to send a shout out to 8110 News Media Group, to Mickey Jordan, Winters Hall, and to Trevor for covering Seamus. It's been a lot. Seamus should be ashamed of himself. Hey, Tyree. He should be ashamed of himself. This is the second letter he sent on HR to me with these alleged videos in a room full of people. I'm like, you need to do a little bit better than that. So I do want to cover those. I'm not going to cover Seamus today, but I want to sit down and shout out to A1 News Media Group, because they are doing some great interviews. And that one was a good one. And also the one that she did of a gentleman. And so I want to thank them for that and their coverage. So Drulina, Kevin Lofton, y'all hit that like button. So we are going to get started. And y'all, I don't know where y'all at, but it is hot here. It's hot in Michigan. It is hot. And I still ain't got no tan. Listen, I need to be out in the sun because I need some sun rays on my skin. Bad. So some of the things that have been happening, we're going to talk about what happened at council. ACLU is now getting involved, requested information because of Terrence Levy being pulled out the car and Miss Gwen Wolford. Also, we have got other issues with Sandy and her daughter, Brooke. They were arrested because they were the number 15 and weren't allowed to speak. And that turned into a fiasco. We're also going to talk about the crime and the guns and that's plaguing our community. And also, we're going to show you, I believe in Flint Township, which is just on the border of Flint, literally, that they found a 17, 18-year-old with guns. I went to see a mother whose son's in the hospital who's fighting for his life. Mr. Clack, Michael Clack, contacted me, and we both went to see the mom and the son. And this was, when we talk about the young people getting shot and parents doing all that they can do, it is a very real issue in our community. We saw the video where the bullet holes were literally about that big in the vehicle. And the gentleman, there were 2 people in the vehicle. I believe both of them were shot. Both are alive, and one has been released. The other one is still working through some very serious issues. So when we talk about this in the crime, literally last night, I think like 4:30 a.m., I got a message that there was gunshots on Welch Boulevard and Welch Boulevard near Forest Hill, that they heard about 30 rounds. Unfortunately, this is Flint's norm, and it has to stop. I've been saying this, and when I say I want a comprehensive public safety plan with a gang task force, I'm not saying it for just my health. I'm saying it because our community needs it. I'm saying it because we had over 10 children shot last year. Those are minors, and some were fatal. And so it's serious. It's serious for me. I'm tired of seeing them rest in peace T-shirts. We have to have the GoFundMe's, because who thinks to lose a child, as young as the ages I've seen, was it 10 months old, 11-month old. We've had 2-year-olds shot, 3-year-olds shot to death, which is the murder as far as I'm concerned. 16, how many forever 16s have we seen where the parents are doing the balloon releases? How do we change our community? How do we get the conversations going and keep them going to invoke change from our police chief, our mayor, our state rep, our senators, and our congresspeople? Because we have a gun violence epidemic. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm not going to stop. They can get mad. I don't care. They did everything to me they think they could. Everything they think they could. And I'm not going to stop. My kids are okay. I want your kids to be okay. Everyone doesn't have the same resources, and therefore we have to understand that. I want to give a shout out to the women who we had our first meeting this week, and we created a new group. The name of the group is Color of Law Coalition. In that group is Shantae Murchison, Diane, and Debbie. It is, oh my God, Tanya Jones, Beverly Biggs, Taylor Sampson. And this group is because we cannot move unless we have support. So I want to give a big shout out to the women. Oh, and one pastor, Pastor Thompson. he showed up. And so the name of the group is Color of Law Coalition. And what the Color of Law is, sorry, y'all. Y'all know I didn't prepare to talk about that part today, but what the Color of Law is, it deals with, and I'm going to get y'all the actual, because I want everybody to say, oh, well, she didn't say the right thing. No, I'm going to give us the right thing. That's not what I want. But as I am looking for it, if you pray for our community, pray for our children, pray for it into the gun violence. I mean, when we talk about what is happening, I'm not going to say I've never seen it. I see it all the time. It was a shooting down there on Berkeley Street where a young man, that's where the shooting was. Then it was accident happened on Ballinger. Then there was gun shells on Lavelle Road. I mean, I've had the telephone pole at the end of my driveway roped off because 2 young men were shot Labor Day 2 years ago. I've had down at the corner of Forest Hill where they shot up a house, and I could hear the gunshots. And so I went to make sure that they're okay. I got there when the police, so to all my friends say, oh, well, you need to be careful. Look, I show up when the police, I'm not being in nobody's gunfight. But what we do know is usually when they shoot up a house, they take off. They don't hang around. They don't. So if you're hearing them, generally they're not there very long. I'm gonna play some videos. So and legal, I want to go back to the Color of Law with this Color of Law Coalition. And these are some women who are coming together, who show up to council, who want change in our community. So in legal context, Color of Law refers to the appearance of legal authority or a right that may not actually exist. It is often used to describe situations where government officials or those acting under their authority misuse their power to deprive individuals of their constitutional rights. Okay, I'm going to read that again. In legal context, Color of Law refers to the appearance of legal authority or a right that may not actually exist. It's often used to describe situations where government officials or those acting under their authority misuse their power to deprive individuals of their constitutional rights. So we know that they make up rules like the public safety plan. That is not a rule. They throw people out. We literally, y'all, and I'm going to tell you, and we started on the list, and I'm going to show you in our first meeting, we ended that, and I got another sheet because I went on to finish going on that. But these are the names of people. Oh, I don't know. Is it not showing it? Okay. The names of the people who were thrown out of city council. And that's the second page. So, and then there's more. So there's a second page. So I'm up to like 83 people who've been thrown out of Flint City Council chambers. And so when we talk about this, this is why the women and the one pastor, who is a man, Pastor Thompson, we've come together to create a Color of Law Coalition because people's rights are being violated. If you want change, you have to come together. You have to. And so Elaine Campbell, no, it's not. It's not. This is just some women, this is very grassroots, very, 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 very. Kevin Love, you need to stay around positive people like yourself, your mayor and the leader of the community. Have a weekend seminar for them, but the guest speaker for felons. Okay. I take mine. I said, okay. So to those women who showed up, I appreciate you. If you're interested in joining and you want to be a part of it, inbox me, contact me. For some reason, everybody know how to contact me, even if they're not my council. I'm not the council person. We want a better community. It's going to take all of us. It's going to take all of us. So we're going to be doing some things with that. So just to throw that out there. So Producer Jay. He's trying to be quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
What's up?
What time did we get off the phone last night?
I don't even want to talk about that.
Y'all, it was it 4:30? Going over stuff, 4:30 a.m. So it is the passion that the people that I work with, Producer Jay, Sheena Beckton, Patrick Jean, that I work with, that we make sure that we're moving things forward. I don't believe in boundaries when we talk about people's rights, that we all have to come together. And that is what I work for. We don't get a paid staff here in the city of Flint as city council, and we're paid very poorly, very poorly. So we do it for the love of the city and the belief that Flint can have a true comeback and we can have true economic development when we get the right people in place. So, Producer Jay, we gonna start with that first video.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that video, I have always since 2019, maybe 19. See, y'all, he didn't actually put it up. Incoming call. I called him. He asked if we were on. We got to us after 4. So we talked. See, y'all think I don't just be saying it. We were covering. How do we cover? How do we get the material out? How do we, put it together and bring awareness, and not just awareness, but how do we start yielding results? And that's where the Color of Law Coalition has come from, so that we can yield results as a group. Now, some of the things we talked about with single mothers, like I got a call literally, I think it was at 8 something. I had to call to do a welfare check for a mother because the mother has a child that is sometimes not on this medication and it's not in my ward. And they need a welfare check because she needs support. She doesn't have family support. And so these are some of the things that we're working on. How do we produce supports for the different type of issues that are in our community? I was able to get I did call the Flint police. They did send someone out. 911 called me back and stated that they had did a check and that she was okay. Dr. Padroni, really, everyone knows the best time to reach is 3 a.m. That's my quiet time. Oh, God. Hey, Pastor Gad, is Dr. Padroni. Look, if I didn't call your name because my screen is way down, but we're going to get started. So I do want to start. Michael Clark, shout out to you for stepping in the gap. And we have to recognize those who do it. he is a lot of these children that have been shot or victims of gun violence. He's taught in the Flint public schools. The young lady Trinity, he saw me going live there on Canterbury, who was sleeping and was shot and killed in her sleep by a drive-by shooting. He knew the family. I got there, I knew family members. You know, Flint is not that big. And so when we talk about that, I get these calls. And he called me, he says, it's Councilman Burns. And it's the intenseness in his voice. I need to talk to you. I didn't know who else to call. I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? Literally, I was not really awake. I'm going to be honest with you when he called. But when you hear that voice, and it's the same sound when I know Mayor Karen Weaver called me about 2.5 months ago, when she said that gun violence, her daughter and her friend was in a vehicle and someone shot up the house, and they shot the house next door when she was dropping a friend off. And so when you get those calls, worst calls to get, because you hear it in the voice, the vibration, and in the tone, and you hear the despair. You hear it. And I can't tell you how many times. I know I was pulling crime stats. Flint has had over 200, I think that was over 3 years. Flint's probably had like 300 shootings. I don't think all fatal, but who had harm to them. Because we had like 67 one year, 69 one year, 68 another year. Then it dropped down to like 50 something, I believe. But we're going to be working. I am going to be working on the stuff because they get tired of me, because you will get a call at 1:00 a.m. Okay, we need to go over this. You get your pencil and paper. Kind of like my attorney, Terry Johnson. He like, when was you going to call me? I was going to call you tomorrow because it's Friday. Friday is date night. It's date night, and you have a wife, and I will not disturb anybody's Friday night date night. And he said to me, okay, yeah, get a pen and paper. We got work to do. So there is work to do and work to be done. I will call you at 1:00 in the morning if you on my team. We gonna do the work. So if you want to, if you want to get involved in the coalition, the Color of Law Coalition, inbox me, please. Inbox me. How can Big Shady? How can Chief Green sleep at night? I don't know, because he didn't have about 5 shootings on his street. And more than that, because there was a gunshot shooting 2 blocks from his home this week. A house got shut up 2 blocks from his street. I don't know how he sleep. The last night when I got the one, but there was a lot of, 911 had been called. I'm like, you know what? It's just really not safe for me. Y'all know I got a couple stalkers. My one stalker told me he wasn't calling me no more to harass me. He said, because I sick the Lord on him. He said he ain't never had nobody sick the Lord on him and sending him Bible scripture and playing songs. You call me and play on my phone, I'm gonna call you back, and you gonna listen to my favorite playlist of gospel songs and my meditation praise time. So play with me if you want to. I had time a couple times. He literally said, I ain't calling you no more. I'm gonna call to check up on you. How you gonna be a stalker and harasser and now you want to be my friend? I'm not understanding that. I'm just saying. My mother literally said, pray for him. My mother said, pray for him, give him scripture. My daddy said, cuss the MFer out. I'm just saying. My mama said, pray for him. Pray for him, send him scripture. Pray for him. Pray for him. That's what my mama said. My daddy, cuss that MF out. Don't he talk to my daughter like that? And I'm a da. So I got 2 different, my daddy cuss, my mama is never. So I just wanted to, so my stalker is, I guess he ain't called me this week, so he keeping true to his word. I don't know what that's about. So if you get a stalker, look, pray for him and then send him scripture. But he got cussed out too. He got cussed out. He did tell me he never been cussed out like that. But I prayed for him too. I did. So I did a little bit of both with both my parents. So anyways, we're going to get into the shootings and the gun violence. Some of you may have seen, I think it was Angie Tyler's page, a house where he had the police. So something is going on approximately 30 minutes ago. So I don't know what that is. So we'll go over that tomorrow, and the gun violence that's plaguing our community. So let's talk about the one. Can we put it up? And I want to give a shout out to Channel 12 for having this new reporter. It's funny because they said, Tanya Burns, who does she know at Channel 12? No, I give the press what they need. I want to be transparent. We have a problem, and we need to know to be careful out there. We need to know how to be careful. And so that's what that is. So let's play that first video.
Which one are we doing?
ABC 12.
ABC 12.
No, we're not. Listen, my bad. We're going to do the first one because I'm getting ready to have PTSD. The first one is shout out to content creator AK Cole, because we're using his content today along with 810 Flint today. So let's hit that, please.
Urgency to concern for both our dedicated municipal staff and the residents we serve that are rightfully seeking letter. As Chief Strategy Officer, my commitment is to the effective governance and strategic advancement of our city. It is becoming important to publicly address the persistent dysfunction and systemic issues plaguing recent city council proceedings, which is severely impeding our ability to conduct essential city business and undermining time.
Well, thank you. So, the lady, right, that row, the entire row, the lady with the glasses, the blue shirt, there was in blah, 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 blah. So I would like to bring them to order so you can continue to read.
Wait a minute.
Thank you. Watch the one who just said, wait a minute, her.
All right.
She stood up and said her name, so Deborah Luna was the one that.
All right, Ms. Luna, that's your first warning. Please continue with my time. The challenges facing the city of Flint are significant, and our municipal staff works tirelessly to address them, striving
Producer Jay.
forward. However, the consistent operational impediments
Producer, I think this is not the right way. Because I think we go into we're at 13 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, this is the wrong video.
You said it's the wrong one?
Yeah, that's the wrong one.
Okay, give me a second. That was the one you sent.
Yeah. No, yeah.
All right, give me a second. I'll change it.
Hold on, because it's his last one. Sorry, y'all. Look, and even on that one, look, somebody was getting warned about to be thrown out. So, look, every day someone is likely to be thrown out of Flint City Council chambers. That is just going to happen. And y'all saw the list, the ridiculous list. I'm gonna send this one back to you. So
I got it. My bad, y'all. I got it already.
Okay, let's do this.
See, Big Chevy on it.
Excuse Producer Jay because Ms. Burns had him up all night on the phone. This, do y'all know how much sad content Flint is? Listen, y'all know they gave me 2 years ago emergency gummies. It's probably a noun later. All this stuff going on. I might have to use it. That's like a noun later. This stuff it's crazy. I did have him up. I absolutely did. I have been exhausted. But let's play it and y'all buckle up. We ready, Producer Jay?
1 second.
You gonna get that too. Please stop yelling out.
Well, you can't hear me.
Stop yelling out.
Number 15.
That's your first warning.
Number 15.
That's your first warning. And that's your second warning. See you later.
That's your second warning.
Point of order. Hold up, officers. We said point of order.
What's your point? Go ahead.
Point of order.
Come on, y'all. I appeal the ruling of
That's
the
your
chair.
first warning. You will not yell at the chair. That's your first warning.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
I know you want to get in trouble too, Miss Me Too, but
I
you
don't
don't
care.
have to. That's your first warning.
You don't need it, damn.
That's your second warning. You are removed. You are removed. Absolutely.
Nasty. You a terrible individual. You couldn't out the president.
Let the meeting go with it.
Now you figure it out. With your smart ass.
Yeah, she is cursing me out because she can't yell at me. But that's your second warning. You're removed. Ms. Winfrey Carter, you are welcome to stay.
I'm going. I'm going to stay in this.
I understand. See you later, Ms. Winfrey Carter. Thank you, Ms. Winfrey Carter. The Fifth Ward thanks you for voluntarily leaving the meeting, Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Get up. That's some bullshit, man.
It is now time for a council response. Council members may respond once to all public speakers, only after all public speakers have spoken. An individual council member's response shall be limited to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who wishes to speak during council response?
Jared, waiting on you, bro. That's wrong, man. That's wrong, man. She appealed the ruling, man.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak during council response? Councilwoman in the second ward, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. So we just want to highlight a few things, and I would like to address Mr. Stanley Wood. According to our council rules, Rule 29.8.
Can we please pause the time? We good? All right. Continue.
Thank you. And thank you so much for everyone that decided to stay so we can handle the business of the city. Because at the end of the day, we all have a job to do. The 9th Ward thanks you, the 7th, the 4th, the 2nd, and also the 1st. We must be mindful of our council rules, which states, because I don't ever want anybody to get it mixed up what happens here. It says, any person at a council meeting may be called to order by the president or any council member for failure to be germane or vulgarity or for speaking in excess of a lot of time. The 84-year-old lady who got up here, she's been coming to these meetings for a long time. She was advised, ma'am, no vulgarities. She began to swear. The chair brought her the order and was explaining to her what was happening. She was refusing to stop talking. So then we go on to Rule 29.9. Any person who was called to order shall yield the floor when the chair have determined that they have been in order. So the point is, she was supposed to wait, but she refused to wait. So that's why she got her second warning. No one wants to throw residents out. We just want residents to be beholden to council rules in addition to our disorderly city person subsection, which is very clear.
Because we will not have chaos erupting in these chambers again, or you will find yourself on the other side of the law.
Man, shut the fuck up.
So that was Arthur Woodson. And, in the first part, maybe we need to go back to that. I thought that part would show Sandy and Brooke. First of all, Liddell breaks the rules. She breaks the rules by not sitting in her seat and voting. You cannot vote by proxy. Bringing people to order. She's called people in lack decorum. Section 3-104, which tells you that you must have decorum and respect not only your colleagues, but you must respect the residents and the audience. She doesn't do that. And so for her, it's very hypocritical for her to state that. She goes on and plays the victim, and she's been playing the victim very well, because we're going to get into that another day this week, where, it's funny, she watches this podcast, but then the both of them went and did a podcast. I haven't had a chance to watch that podcast in its entirety, but I am maybe tonight or tomorrow, because it's the hypocrisy of it all. Producer Jay, I don't know, I give to you that one with Sandy being put out before? Darnell, her decorum is whack. Thank you. Hey, Luna Calloway, I did not.
No, no, that video just showed them saying that they forgot number 15. Okay.
So the one where she actually threw her out. I don't know how we skipped that one. Where Sandy, so there was a number 15. So when Sandy was stating, there has to be, what did I do with that? I know he has to have it. View channel. Because that one was really watching them be thrown out unfairly was just crazy. It was crazy. I don't even see that he has it in his, or maybe it's in this one and it's towards the beginning. Because Doug got up there and cussed. Nothing happened to him, but Miss Taylor did. He said, damn. Miss Taylor said shit, and Miss Taylor got put out. I was coming back out of the office after getting some items printed, and she was getting some items printed, and Miss Taylor was getting put on. The police were coming around her to tell her she had to leave. I asked him, do not arrest her. She's an 80-plus-year-old senior. Doug did not get arrested. He was allowed to sit back down in his seat, actually, with no problem. Okay, thank you. I'm going to send this to you. Thank you, Patrick Jean. Patrick Jean has the one. And Patrick Jean, if you can look for the other one with Sandy while we're on it. I'm sending you the one that Patrick sent, which shows her daughter. The hypocrisy is they tell people to not do stuff, but it's the stuff that they do. They do it every meeting. When you have 80+ people that you have put out of city council chambers, you're the problem. Even when they say, well, you got a warning. Okay, thank you. That's your second warning. You get a second warning for saying, okay, thank you. Miss Taylor did exactly what Doug did, but she did it with more class, much more class. And she got removed, told to leave, and given a warning. So maybe I need to look up the date of that. Was it this past Monday? Special city council meeting. And so look, y'all, I appreciate y'all bearing with me. I can tell you now, this will not be a show that's going to be 2 hours today. I can tell you that now. So it will not. So let's play this one, please. And thanks to Ana Rodriguez. Ana Rodriguez was visiting here from DC. She was here visiting. So thank you, Ana. So let's play this. Does it have volume? Okay, it sent me another one. So catching up on our video part. I thought that one had it on, and that is completely my bad. Public speaking. Oh, that says public speaking goes off the rails.
No, it's just that video is just 4 seconds. So
okay, so maybe since his public speaking goes off the rails, because it's right after Beverly.
It's not in that either. I just look.
Okay, so the date that we had to go back to official Flint City Council because it got. So who did Art have it? Okay, so official Flint City Council, where you hear the 15, and she throws them out because that's what she does. So that would not be. I think that would be. We weren't there very long. No, that was the last. I had to look at the calendar. So y'all, I apologize. It's gonna be the 23rd. So let me not YouTube, not Google. Your channel live videos. So live. Because look, they will throw you out of there and won't think nothing of it. Okay, here we go. I'm sending it to you. And then I'll get you a starting point. So I apologize. And thank you to everyone who said, hey, Councilman Burns, get some. So I don't know who IP is, but IP, you might want to go play on somebody else's, because I'm not doing crazy people. These people are not out of control. You have a right to speak at a meeting. You don't have 80-some people thrown out. The problem is obviously with the people who were throwing the people out, because when they literally are violent. Liddell ran up on me in 2022, wanted to fight. She's run up on Arthur Whitson and Dennis and sat next to him and wanted to fight. She has a violent tendency. She sent fake posts to Pastor Harris with lies about me, claiming I sent them. That is a fact. I have put those up. And we're going to put them up again, too. We're going to put those up again. But when she does that, that means she's creating a false scenario. Literally created some fake posts, went to Pastor Harris and said, look what she posted. I didn't post them. So she's a manipulating, lying individual, just like her bishop, Bishop Christopher Martin, just like him. So when we look at this and the behavior, I mean, it's consistent. It's consistent. So when we look at this type of behavior, who makes Facebook posts of people? At this same time, I'm going to speak for myself what she's done, because she just literally spent every day going after Councilman Jared. He literally he stayed to say for him, his vote was independent. He was going to stay. And then when she started going after him, he left. You can't talk to adults like you're crazy. He is a grown man. What did she do? She doxed him. She put up his picture. She put up his picture, and she said, he didn't support Job Corps. That's not a true statement. What he is saying, that is a federally funded job, which is what many of us have said. It is still in court. It is not the need that is right now. We are not here for a just in case. That is not our function to be the safety net. Technically, it should be at the federal level. Our Congressman McDonald Rivet should be taking care of this. Flint doesn't have everything that we need to keep going. And it's just people don't get it. Everybody wants to give. But when she decides to get her $50,000 to her nonprofit, another payment of $25,000 to her nonprofit, Leon's had numerous payments to his nonprofit. Candace's nonprofit, she did vote on in committee for $300,000. Then Liddell tabled it when it went to council. So she did vote to give herself in committee $300,000. That is a fact. Now, because we can follow the money trail, it is now with State Representative Cynthia Neely to approve Candace Mushat's $300,000. So you can follow the money trail. They do the bidding of the dirty work, and then they get paid through their nonprofits. It's kind of what Rodney Porter was saying when he was on the 810 News Media Group, and he got a plug to do it. And I got a plug, and I know the girl. I grew up with her. And so I got a plug. This is how you do it. I'm like, okay. They tell you how they do it. And so it was unfortunate she decided to go on. Then Councilman Jarrett came back because everyone else, we were supposed to be off. But because they couldn't keep their meeting together, Candace couldn't, the meeting did not come past special affairs. It failed in special affairs. Underneath Candace's leadership, there failed leadership. Failed leadership is when you throw out 80-something plus people. That doesn't happen. It has never happened in Flint's history with any other council people. Failed leadership. So then it was asked, can we come back on Wednesday? I wasn't available. I had something to do with my daughter and my family. And the other ones had. So Councilman Jarrett said, hey, I'll come in. And then when he did a consent agenda, 4 items he set aside. He voted for the consent agenda, and then he did ask to adjourn. They voted no. They voted it down. He got up and he left. She went on a rant about him then went home, made another nasty post, because that's what she does. Now, if you are what you call council leadership, why are you tearing down your council members? You stand with this mayor who just cost the city another $225,000 lawsuit. We paid another $175,000 lawsuit for police brutality this week. Then we had another one with the fire marshal or fire inspector, Michael Cochran. I mean, how much more failed leadership do they want to keep standing there with the mayor when he talks about the city council? Y'all are city council too. You are city council too. So his failed leadership, your failed leadership kind of comes together, and the people are tired. Let the people come speak, get their time, and move on. So let's go back to this where we're at. Let's go back to, are we ready to gear it up, Producer Jay?
Warning. And that's your second warning. See you later. That's your second warning.
Point of order. Hold up, officers. We said point of order.
What's your point? Go ahead.
Point of order.
I literally just asked her what her
I appeal the ruling of
That's
the
your
chair.
first warning. You will not yell at the chair. That's your first warning.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
I know you want to get in trouble too, Miss Me Too, but it don't happen. That's your first warning. That's your second warning. You are removed. You are removed. Absolutely.
Nasty. You a terrible individual. You couldn't have the president.
Let the meeting go with it.
Now you figure it out. With your smart ass.
Yeah, she is cursing me out because she can't yell at me. But that's your second warning. You're removed. Ms. Winfrey Carter, you are welcome to stay.
I'm going. I will not stay in this.
I understand. See you later, Ms. Winfrey Carter. Thank you, Ms. Winfrey Carter. The Fifth Ward thanks you for voluntarily leaving the meeting, Ms. Winfrey Carter.
Get up. That's some bullshit, man.
Well, never a dull day. It's a very embarrassing moment. And let me say this to people. People can be only human. And when you sit through that mess, don't expect me to sit through it and think it's okay, because it's not okay. One, they violate every single meeting, people's constitutional rights. They violate the city charter. They violate the Roberts rules. They even violate their own council rules. So because Sandy did have the number 15, which we played on the other video, she was never allowed to speak. Now she's not at the microphone. Here's another fake rule that they made up. You can't talk to the city clerk and you can't talk to the city attorney while the council is going on. That's not a rule. It's not a rule. It's not a rule anywhere that you can't talk to the clerk and you can't talk to the city attorney. But the people know that each time they go to talk to the city attorney or they go to talk to the clerk, you can't talk, officers. They weaponize the police on them every single time. So what other recourse do they have than to number one, state, I have number 15. There's no other recourse. There is none. Because if you go to the mic and say it and your name wasn't called, then, they weaponize the police against you. So there was a number 15. The slip, they said, wasn't legible. She knew she had 15. On the corner of the slip is the number. Each slip has a number. So even if it's not legible, there's a numerical number there that identifies that to the person so that you have a recourse. She knew that she was number 15. 15 was not called. The fact that she tells the people, the fifth ward thanks you for leaving, voluntarily leave, just nasty. She had no decorum, and she's the chair. It's not for her to say. She kept ignoring the point of order because she didn't want to hear it. Now, you remember a couple of weeks ago, she not only ignored an objection, she decided to get up out of her seat and walk away if she was chairing. Just completely bizarre because she didn't want to acknowledge it. She refused to acknowledge it and just got up and walked away. She threw a temper tantrum, refused to come out the last week when we were to go in executive session. We were supposed to go into executive session regarding some of the cases. And she refused to come out, and we had to come out, and the turn we're out there asking her, she wouldn't come out. So she threw a temper tantrum like a baby, not like an adult. Then the part that just really, really irked me, well, you got Liddell following me and Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. She pulls out her camera and she's recording. I don't record. You do not see me recording in council. Like I don't do that. I mean, I don't do that. She's recording us every time, but you know who she get it from? Her bestie, Eva Warden. Every meeting, Eva would point her camera to me and she would record. Just weird, just strange, unprofessional, lacks decorum completely. Then when she decides to ignore the appeal, that's a problem. And in the meantime, they're arresting Sandy. Sandy and Brooke are being arrested. They're being handcuffed. The problem with the police who are being weaponized against the residents, they don't know the rules. There's an appeal on the floor. You have to wait until the appeal is done. There goes Liddell following us right behind Candace. And she was laughing and giggling and just so cheery. Ha, ha, ha. Sick individual. Her behavior denotes someone who has mental health issues. Simple as that. She's deriving pleasure is derived from this as she's following. So because the officers don't know that when there's a pill on the floor, you cannot, oh yeah, look at her, just pleased and happy, just dripping off of her smile was just satisfaction that we got all this chaos. Those are your two chaos agents, Liddell and Candace Mushat. They are. So then it's the officers who do not know that you have to wait for an appeal. They're arresting Sandy and Brooke. Brooke's on the elevator watching her daughter go. And then so is, then Sandy's on her way too. And they literally take them to jail. So I walk over there to tell her she has an appeal. You cannot arrest her until there's an appeal on the floor. But because these officers are not properly trained, they go kick down drug doors. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. And that's what they need to take that energy. They need to take that energy, that aggressive energy, and be where they're most successful at. Knocking down drug doors, meth houses, squatters, or whatever they do. Dealing with the real criminals, okay? Not the residents who come to speak and their rights are consistently and routinely violated in the Flint City Council chambers. That is a problem for me. And so they don't know Robert's rules. They don't know council rules. and they don't know the city charter, they don't know the Michigan Constitution, and they don't know the Open Meetings Act. And it's safe to say those two chairing don't know them either, because they violate those people's rights. It's the same thing when Chief Green was out there on the Sunday violating those people's rights, Mr. Terrence Levy and Miss Wolford, who are both suing. And those are not in the, well, one is in, I don't know, Miss Wolford, but it's going to be in the hopper yet. And we keep getting more and more cases because of people not being properly trained. Those officers don't know how city council and government functions in parliamentary. They don't know it. They don't know parliamentary. They had no parliamentary training. They don't have a clue. And so when Liddell, who wants everybody arrested, that's what they want, everybody to be arrested. So the part that really got to me was that when, can we play that back? We need to listen to that. When Candace Mushat said, okay, Miss Me Too. The Me Too movement is a very serious movement. Can we play that part back, producer Jane? Felicia, why isn't a female officer assigned to council meetings? You know, they got the special unit.
Give me 1 second. Keep talking.
Okay.
I got you. Give me 1 second.
So there should be, because I was told that Shalita, who was slammed to the ground while handcuffed, her head hit the wall, that she was frisked in the elevator. There should be. That now these officers are not trained to do city council. They're trained to show up with that big truck in your driveway and or in front of your house. And if you selling drugs, meths, cocaine, they getting bricks off the street. That's what they're trained to do. They're trained to do that. They're not trained to deal with the people every day. They wear riot gear when they come in there. They're not dressed in a regular day-to-day police uniform. And that's what they're trained to do. Take down drug dealers, drug houses, and trap houses. I got some trap houses over here. They need to be taken down. Okay. I got drug houses over there. Not too, etc. I got, and then over in the new part of my ward that I've got drug house, meth houses. I mean, I have that. Their time is 6 of them. They're usually there. Should be on the streets, not allowing Liddell and them to weaponize the police against the people. So let's play this one.
That's your second warning. See you later. That's your second warning.
Point of order. Hold up, officers. We said point of order.
What's your point? Go ahead.
Point of order.
I literally just asked her what her point
I
was.
appeal the ruling of
That's
the
your
chair.
first warning. You will not yell at the chair. That's your first warning.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
I know you want to get in trouble too, Miss Me Too, but it don't happen. That's your first warning. That's your second warning. You are.
Okay, so we're going to take back some history, because one thing, she should be the last person using the phrase Me Too. So the Me Too movement is a social movement and awareness campaign against sexual abuse, sexual harassment, and rape culture, in which survivors share their experience of sexual abuse or harassment. There's a Black lady I sent you. Can you put her name is Tarana Burke. She started this, I believe, in 2007. And I want to say thank you to my team, Sheena Beckton, when we are actually getting our information together. Tarana Burke founded the Me Too movement in 2006. I was a year off, to support survivors of sexual violence, especially Black and brown women. Her efforts turned into a global movement in 2017. This sparked widespread conversations about consent, accountability, and systemic change. The Me Too movement is serious, and especially for women of color, because often when they say you got raped, leave that up for me, please, or a date rape, the question, what does she have on? Well, what did she do? She must have did something, or it's the way she dressed. She dressed provocatively. You know, it was been traditional, and still to this day, the Me Too movement. They blame women, especially Black women. Black women are not given the benefit of the doubt that they may have been raped, that they did not give consent, that there are people who are out here who are sexual predators, sexual violent predators. And for Candace to so cavalierly sit in that seat and to say the Me Too movement when her daddy is Michigan's worst serial rapist is egregious. When he had 500 tapes in his house shown of women, when he has 190 charges and more still to come. Alleged serial rapist from Flint pleads to 190 charges. He still has more to come. This man sat outside my office building. And because someone knew him, I was like, he's out there. He would park his car. He would go across to the club, pick the women up. He had on there kidnapping, drugging women, raping women, videotaping them. And she's making a joke about the Me Too movement when the serial rapist is her father, and you making it to your colleague? What is wrong with you, Candace Mushat? The Me Too movement is serious about women of color who are not taken serious because of things like your father did. Your father raped Black women. And you as a Black woman should understand the seriousness that you should never utter from your mouth and to joke about the Me Too movement. It is not a joke. It's not a joke in our city. And for you to sit there so calm and cavalier and just to let those words roll off your tongue as if you were being swift and smart and someone's not going to mess with your flow, you went against Black women. Women of sexual violence, women who have been raped, women who people don't ever think. And a lot of his victims, strippers, who people don't pay attention. And something else you didn't know, Candace, those women used to sit in my office, tell me their stories. They walked from Cloud 9 down to the other club, Club 69, because they had children. They would come in and sit to get cooler to stay warm. They would plug up their phones. You had women who were trying to take care of their families. And these were women who were raped. Your daddy was picking up. He was. And you got the nerves to say, see, when you don't know somebody's history, where they've been and what they've seen your father do, you keep your mouth closed. You keep your mouth closed. A friend of mine had to tell him, man, don't park behind her garage because if you park there, she can't get out. And if you park it behind her garage, I told her to shoot first. I didn't even know who he was. I would see women in the car walking, and these women would tell their stories. He knew someone that I knew who told him, don't park there, don't park her stuff. She doesn't feel safe, because I would leave 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes depending on, and I would often leave when the club was settled down, because there would sometimes be shootings out there, and I didn't want to be in the, the crossfire of anything. But for her to say, Me Too was the most disgusting, tasteless, vile thing she has said thus far. Thus far. Understand where the Me Too movement come from. If you can put that back up for me. That this woman who was fighting, put the one with the black lady up on it. I'm sorry, Tarana Burke. And so what else came from it? So when she decided to do this, because she was a victim. No one believes you when you're raped. Clarence Thomas. Everybody remember what happened, what happened. Watching the trials, and you have a Black woman saying he was, made sexual advances to me. I was sexually, Anita Hill was sexually harassed. She wasn't that she was a professor, but she was Harvard or Yale educated, that it wasn't taken serious. They didn't believe her because it's Black women. And when we say we're raped, and we say that they violated my body, when we say that they took advantage of me, when we say I did not give consent for him to touch me that way, I did not give consent to have sex with him, we're not taken serious. People don't believe, well, what did you do? What did you have on? Girl, what did you do to him? Well, I didn't know him like that. You joke about a movement that was started by a Black woman about victims of rape, and your daddy is our worst rapist. You had another lady, because rape is serious, I believe I sent to you, they called her Mattress Girl. And this kind of rolled into the Me Too movement, which brought together Black women. Black women started it, and it rolled into it to where we had white women. Mattress Girl was the one who carried the mattress around her back. I sent that one to you too, producer Jay. And everywhere she went, she carried the mattress because she was a victim of rape. She didn't give her consent to have sex while in college. Date rape is when we really started to hear. Yes.
It's not opening. That one says it's not open.
Okay. And so Mattress Girl, when she brought further to, bring light to what was going on, and what she went through. She carried this mattress around everywhere she went, and it became a movement. It became a movement because women are raped, and not only Black women, but we know that it was also white women too. And so the movement grew, but start and leave hers up for me too. We know that the movement grew and began because Black women were saying, first we raped on plantations, by the slave masters, and it just continues to go. And so the Mattress Girl, I just sent you the one. This shows her at graduation. She has her mattress there, even at the graduation, because she said, I'm going to carry it everywhere I go to remind her victim that she was raped. She didn't give consent. There's too many women that you can form a relationship with. That's her mattress, that you don't have to rape someone. It's never an option. It's never an option. And it's never okay. She took her dorm mattress and carried her dorm mattress everywhere she went to bring awareness, just like Tarana Burke did, of rape. And when you joke about it from your elected seat, can you put the next one up? This is her around campus. It's not funny. You'll be surprised if you ask your friend or your cousins and your relatives, have you ever been touched with an unwanted touch? Have you ever been date raped? Have you ever had non-consensual sex? You'll be surprised the number of women who will tell you that they have had unconsented sex, that they were friends of mine who were raped in college. I've had those conversations. I've had them. It's a lot larger number than you think. And so you see her walking around campus with her dorm mattress. She was raped. She was a victim. And so when it is joked about, okay, Me Too, is sometimes your slickness of your mouth and the quickness of your words because the problem of your dialogue. And her dialogue was wrong. What she did and said was wrong. It was completely, I was heated because I've had the hey, JWC. Hey, Burns producer, thank you for bringing what was said to my attention. I didn't hear what she was saying because it was so noisy in the council chambers. It was, when she said that Me Too, I was hotter than fish grease. I didn't care that Liddell was at that point, which was just lack decorum, videotaping. She mad at everybody else videotaping. But here it is, she videotaping, And so I want people to know, ask somebody if you have sisters, nieces, aunt, talk about unwanted touch in our little girls, because sexual predators don't care. They know how to find their victims. They know. Ask them, have you ever been touched? Have you ever, and tell them what a bad touch is and describe what it is. Talk to your daughters, your nieces, your cousins. Talk to them. And it's not just little girls anymore. The predators go after boys too. They go after boys too. So I want everyone to be careful, and you would be surprised if you're ever in a group of women, ask them, has anyone, the Me Too movement, does that mean anything to you? Have you ever had a person rape you or touch you unwanted or had unconsented sex? You'll be surprised with the answer. It's going to be in every group, I promise you. And a lot of times these women bury these stories to the back of their head because they know they have to go on, and they bury it to the back of their head. Okay, Producer Jay. So the Me Too movement was, Sandy getting arrested was terrible. So Sandy gets arrested, and Brooke, she's saying Me Too movement. Sandy had the number 15. So can we play? And if you're sharing your story on there, sending prayers to you, because I look like I seen a story someone said on here, sharing, because it's real. It's real. TT Squad. My sister was sexually assaulted by government officials here in Memphis. She's fighting it right now. It has affected her mental health as well. So thank you, Ms. Burrs, for speaking out on this. Y'all, we had a Judge Farah in Genesee County, sexual harassment. Okay. Judge Farah was removed from the bench, and then he was teaching at Michigan State. You don't play with the Me Too, okay, Me Too. Go play with somebody. Don't do that. Those words, she owes this community apology. She owes the community an apology. But I do want, before we move on to the next one, which will be Davina, explaining the number 15, that's 810 Flint. I want you to please ask someone, and when you ask, don't take it as a joke, because you're dredging up memories of what some of these women have went through. Be empathetic to them. Be empathetic, because some of their stories are tragic. And sometimes you don't know what it has taken for a woman to get up, to move forward, to shrug it off, and to not have in her head some of the stories. Because I've had them with some of my friends. I did not have a clue. I did not know. I did not know. So I do want to make sure, we're going to go on. So that Me Too was stated in there at Councilwoman Winfrey Carter. Very tasteless, classless, embarrassing. She should have never said that. She owes this community an apology for using that. So we want to go into the next one. I'm going to set this up. So the number 15, we know that number 15, the slip was filled out. Brooke had filled out her slip. You fill out your name, then up in the corner, it has a number. And at the meeting Wednesday, where Councilman Jarrett did attend to make sure that there was a quorum, no one else was available. After they had a embarrassing meeting where they threw people out, residents and colleagues, because they clearly, in making jokes about the Me Too movement, lacking any form of sensitivity, not knowing, what if, and I'm not, what if Councilwoman Winfrey Carter had been unconsented sex? She don't know. What if she had been raped? She don't know. What if Councilwoman Winfrey Carter had snapped on her at that time because of that? Because she didn't know. What if her saying those very cold, callous, cruel words to her sparked something where it came back on her? When you saying Me Too, okay, Me Too, and she snapped on her. She's trying to be slick and clever, and then you don't know what they've been through. You don't know. So Sandy, the number 15 was filled out, but the name was illegible. The number was on there. Brooke and her mother said, no, she has number 15. No, she has number 15. Now, remind you cannot go speak to the clerk. You cannot go speak to the city attorney, because they will weaponize the police and tell them to arrest you, that it's a rule. It's not a rule that you can't go speak to them. It's just not. It's a flat out lie. So let's play the video, please.
So with that being said,
Madam
we
Chair.
are, go ahead.
I would like to respond to some of the speakers, if you would allow me that courtesy.
I didn't hear that. Say it again.
I would like to respond to some of the speakers, if you would allow me that courtesy.
Absolutely. Let's make sure that we hear you loud and clear, Ms. Donahue, so they can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I want to first say that these meetings are the meetings of the Flint City Council. I am not on this body. Oftentimes, people will come up and make comments directly to me. I do not respond because this is not the meeting for me to respond. I'm not on this body. If you ever have any question or inquiry, you can contact me directly in my office. Also, I want to point out that as far as I'm concerned, and that's what I've always believed, is that the clerk is independent of the mayor, the council. I believe that there are 4 separate entities in the city of Flint. That would be the administration, the council, the clerk, and the ombudsperson. I do not work or answer to anyone. What I do answer to are the rules, Robert's rules, the charter, the code. No one knows how I feel about any of these rules because professionally, I don't make my opinion known because my opinion really doesn't matter. I have to follow them whether I agree with what they are or not, and that's what I've always done. So having said that, I just want to point out to the gentleman as far as the 3110 and the disorderly persons ordinance on the website, when you go to the code, there is a section that says Flint overview. So the ordinances that have been adopted since the charter was last codified are listed separately. The codification is being updated, so it is on there. You just have to know where to look. So that is the right section. It's being worked on now. Hopefully that should be done within the next couple of months so that the code is updated to make it current. And also the other thing, as far as the speaker slip, for the record, I want to let it be known that I did have a speaker slip, number 15. However, it was illegible. I couldn't read it at all. And if you will notice, what I've made a practice of doing lately is I'll always say the last speaker is. We've asked you not to come up to us, but if someone had approached me and said, come up and point it out, you didn't call 15, we could have straightened it out. When they said it from the back, I was about to say, I do have one, but before I could say anything, everything just broke loose. So I would have rectified the situation because I could not read the writing. And the council is emphasizing that the slips be filled out in their entirety correctly. But I mean, it was impossible to read what was there. So I could have and would have gladly straightened everything out. But before I could even say anything, everything had happened. And I also want to say that I can't be responsible for how somebody reacts to that. Again, as soon as the person said it the first time, I was about to say something, but then we had about 10 people yelling it out at the same time. And then they were called to order and everything else. So for the record, I just want that to be known as well. Thank you, Madam Chair, for allowing me that.
Absolutely.
Through the chair,
It's
the city attorney.
Go ahead.
Thank you. To also reiterate what Clerk Donahue stated, the ordinance for 3110 is listed under new legislation. It is number 4075. So you go under new legislation, scroll down to ordinance number 4075, and it lists 3110, which was renumbered during the emergency manager era. And that was revised on March 31st of 2016. Thank you.
All right, and thank you so much, City Attorney. And I just want to reemphasize what the clerk basically just said is stop being disorderly. Okay, so if you are acting like a grown-up that follows the rules, you don't yell out from the back. We can address your concerns, but when you become disorderly, all bets are off and you will be brought to order. And so now that that's established, we will go ahead and move on with the rest of the meeting.
Okay. I wish Davina had a circle back around and said, no, that's not what I said. Do not paraphrase what I'm saying, because that was not what Davina said. That was not. Liddell is a liar. We know Liddell lies because she makes fake posts. We know Liddell lied and said Mayor Weaver never comes. Mayor Weaver does come to city council. She used to come to not only city council, she would come to committee meetings. She's there. And AK Cole, shout out to you, because I said AK hadn't sent it. AK had actually sent it to me, where he's got videos with Mayor Weaver in committee meeting and council meeting. Thank you, AK Cole. I appreciate you for that. So when she says all the rules were broke out and they don't want you to come up, okay, so how do you communicate? I never said so. She said council. Those are just Liddell, Judy, and Candace wants that. I don't care if you want to speak, say your name when you get up there. And then according to the OMA, that's a number thing. So Jacqueline, Davina should have spoke up in the moment when there was a number 15. They can't come up there, so speak up. She should have spoke up. She should have got on her mic and been like, what's his name? Lil John. Been on there and been loud, because they silenced, and everything did break. It was a mess. So the people who want the slips to be filled out completely are Liddell, Candace, and Judy. Liddell, Candace, and Judy. Leon ain't into that, I'm quite sure. So that's them. The interim president and interim whatever. That needs to be taken as a vote. They want it to be done. So they have too much power, and they are power drunk. So there was a number 15. She wasn't just yelling out number 15 for no reason. And there was an appeal on the floor. The appeal was not heard. It was not heard because Candace was too busy talking about Me Too. Shouting out what Me Too is. Not understanding the origin of it at all. And so what happened with Sandy? Sandy in the back of it. So when I left, and Dennis was gone. Dennis was gone like a new Lear jet. He was gone. I left because one, you throw out people, you violate their rights. I will not be a part of it. When you lack decorum, you're disrespectful, you don't acknowledge points of order until you're ready. I'm not staying in that. They have a right, section 3, that's 104. They have to follow the rules too. So Sandy was arrested, Brooke was arrested. I went over to the jail, and I want to say thank you to the Genesee County Sheriff, and I want to say thank you to the Undersheriff, Mike Takarachik, for taking my calls and for letting me know how Sandy was doing. Sandy has a paraplegic son. Her daughter Brooke has some, issues with health. She has a condition. Sandy was able to call me. I was able to call her husband. Her son is a paraplegic, requires 24-hour care. I literally had to listen to her tell her husband and the son. She says, he says, I've never catheterized KP. She says, and I'm sorry. I love you, but if you need help, you're gonna have to call Tyler. They're not letting me out. His Norcos are telling where they're at. His other orange and white pill is this place. You have to mix it up in the protein because they take shifts as a family taking care of their son, KP. So she's very emotional in jail. Meantime, Brooke's legs she has a condition. And so Brooke body was going into distress. She was taken over to the hospital. She passed out in the jail. She passed out. And they took her to Hurley. Brooke was released about 3:30 that morning. I picked her up. Her husband cannot leave their paraplegic son home alone. There's no way. What they arrested them for, generally, you're not even arrested in handcuffs. you are ticketed. No time in history. But all the times, most of the times y'all saw Councilman Mays handcuffed, they let him out downstairs. Yes, Metcalf did. That is what happened. Arresting for this is crazy. When they're asking for a right to speak, you don't have to be in this community. And people, I gotta tell them, why are you supporting them? They're not in this community. So to the person who did, if she's watching, because I go speak at other ones, I speak, and my topics may not always be popular. Because sometimes you got to get in some good trouble. And they have a right to speak. They are being denied the right to speak. They were being denied. So when I did not know, it was so much going on. So Sandy's husband did, he doesn't do the third shift, obviously. Had to learn how to do everything that night when she was held in jail. And it was the police department. Chief Green didn't sign off. It wasn't the legal department. It was Chief Green. He's the police chief. Now, if it was the sergeant or the whatever, it's Chief Green. He's the chief. He's the last stop. He didn't sign off. So Sandy would call because she had to get instructions because Chief Terrence Green did not do his part to let her out. The city attorney did. Office did. So she would call. So she'd have to give instructions because Brooke was in the hospital being looked at. And to tell her husband how to take care of their paraplegic child over some stuff that Candace and Liddell on a power trip mentioning Me Too. Oh, that's your warning. That's your warning. The punishment does not meet with the action that was done, which was simply, I have number 15, I would like to speak. And you can't go up to them. They don't want you to go up to the clerk and to them. You can't. And so she called all through the night, shaken up, when she needed to speak to her husband to give instructions because it's on a time that she has to have the husband to, for her son KP has to have things done. So the next day, Sandy was still in there. Brooke was home to start helping with the father. She's still shaken up, recovering from what happened to her from Hurley at the hospital. And the amount of guilt that shouldn't have happened. It's like you have to prepare. And if you go back to the civil rights movement, they prepared you to deal with being arrested to the injustices at the universities. So remember the Mississippi burning, and I think a portion of that, and you can look it up. They would teach you how to deal with pouring salt on your head, ketchup at the lunch counter, being spit on, being called nigger, with your hair pulled, to being attacked, to having dogs sicked on you, to having water hose being sprayed with them with the force to knock your body down. It's like we have to train our residents how to deal with them weaponizing the police. Most of these people haven't been to jail. All of them have been thrown out. You have a right to protest. That's the First Amendment. This isn't a dictatorship. This isn't Stalin, Hitler. And so when we take people's rights, it affects all of our rights. You don't have to live here for our rights to be taken. Rights are protected. It's your constitutional right. It's your constitutional right. So all through the night, so Sandy didn't get out until I had given her things. Literally, her phone was going off, and I'm like, what is this chirping? And when you're going through, trying to get everything together, her phone was going off. Her family and her friends were concerned. So Sandy had to stay. They told us they were going to let her out till Thursday. I want to say thank you to, like I say, Under Sheriff Takarchik, because their prison and the county jail, Mayor Sheldon Neely and Chief Green are using the jail as their political jail. They're using it to take people who don't fall in line politically. They're using the county jail as their political jail. And it puts the Genesee County Sheriff, in a predicament, because you have to take them in, because the city jail is in no condition for anybody to be in. Nobody can be in that jail. And so I appreciate, and I put it on my page to thank the undersheriff, because often when we get help from people, we don't thank them. And I thank him, because what he did was to help to solve a situation, because she literally has a paraplegic son. And to be able to connect me to the husband, I appreciate that, because what they considered to be the crime did not warrant what was done. So here's another thing that with the ACLU letter that's coming up, you can hold for 48 hours and you can hold for 72 unless you're going to ask questions. So they're stating they can hold them up to 72, but they're not reading them their Miranda rights when they are arresting them. That has been sent to the ACLU. That has been sent. So if you're holding them and they're not Mirandaizing them, what are they doing? We hold them to 72, but you can legally hold to 48 hours if you're not asking questions, but you're saying, maybe I am. They're playing a game. And they need to be penalized for it. They need to be penalized for it. Chief Green and Mayor Neely are wrong for this. We know that they abused their position of power. Why? We know how he did it with Fire Chief Barton. Fire Chief Barton would not lie for Mayor Neely. The city has had to pay $225,000, which he settled for less than. I don't know what happened in the case, because I did not go back into executive session. I did not, because your girl gonna read the transcript so I can share with the public. But we know there was fault. We know that he could not get qualified immunity. We know that the mayor doesn't want to go under deposition. He doesn't want to be put under oath. He doesn't. So he's costing the city the money. So I want to go on to Producer Jay. Are you there? You still there?
I'm here, yep.
Okay, so I want to go on to I just, that whole thing was just crazy to me. It was something else for the township. I'm having a little brain freeze. So listen, before we go on here, look, click like, share, and look, tip the producer. Put up the thing. Donate to the producer. Y'all know I could put the sign up. Y'all know I could not do this without him. And then also the two moderators, Patrick Jean and Sheena J. So please kindly donate to Cash App, $ Producer J 1987. It really ticks Liddell off that this is monetized. But look, I don't take a dime. Y'all know I'm working 1 o'clock in the morning. So to make sure we have our content, make sure our stories are together, make sure we have supporting documents, and that the flow. And it's a lot of work. It's not, some people think, Flint is entertainment, but this is really Flint's lives, and it can be yours wherever you're at. So kindly donate to Cash App, $ Producer J 1987. I do not get any money from this. Lord knows it just irks Liddell, y'all, that anybody is that this and her thing is monetized. It's monetized. I mean, should it stay unmonetized? Once you reach a certain level and you grow, and that's why I want y'all to click like, share, and subscribe, because it drives her nuts. And we know she a fan. She my number one fan. What Mari say? You a fan, sis? She is a fan. She is a fan. So asking you to donate to $ Cash App, Producer J 1987. And it is at the bottom of the scroll. Zelle is on there. Awesome. So coming out of that with Sandy, keep Sandy in your prayers. Sandy has a good attorney, a very good attorney, which is pro bono. He's out of Birmingham, Michigan. And we know that she did have the number 15 and the right to speak. And she didn't get that. And they were arrested. Sandy is now home with her husband and her daughter and their son, KP, who is a paraplegic. And, she's healing. And she's texted me, and Dr. Jordan said, everybody knows to get in I'll get in contact with Tanya at 3:00 in the morning. She texted me 2, 3, 4 o'clock that, this is difficult for her, and tried to get some sleep, and still just going through how could this happen? What was the outlet? You can't go up and talk. You can't. So I don't know. So keep Sandy and her family, keep Sandy, her husband Phil, KP, and Brooke in your prayers because she's going through a lot. So also keep Shalita in your prayers. Shalita is still in the hospital. I don't know which hospital she's in. She would not tell me. And then the other victims, so that we have got to turn this around. This is too much. It's too much. And you could see the satisfaction that Liddell had on her face. It was so deeply troubling, with the smirks and the laughs and the giggles. And just as pleased as a cherry pie. So we're going to go on to ABC 12 is the next one because y'all know it's holiday season. We are coming up on July 4th where it's fireworks and gunshots. Sometimes some of the gunshots are mistaken for fireworks. But we had, I want to say thank you for Winters for making sure. Winters all at A1 News Media Group. She sent me 29 million text messages that she was calling, but I was on a Zoom meeting, so I did not see that she was calling. And she was like, hey, did you hear? Did you know what was going on? And it was sure enough, it was a problem, some serious problem. And the problems are still going on because after that shooting, it marked another shooting. And so there's some things that are being tied together. So I do want to say, if your children have problems and you have young men who are at risk, I have been speaking with the Nation of Islam, with Brother LaRon, and their work. If you want to have, and some other positive men, if your young child needs a mentor or you need intervention, give me a call. Give me a call. I will help to get you some resources. You can give me a call at 810-471-7849. You can give me a call. I will connect you with people to get you some resources. We have a gang problem. It's not uncommon where I've seen mothers who have 2 of their children shot. Not uncommon. If you have a child that you want to get them out of the gang, you want intervention, give me a call. Give me a call. So this last week we had the issue, or this week, because we on Sunday, where there was the shooting. So we're going to play the video. Can we play the ABC 12 video, please?
Happened Wednesday on Berkeley and Donaldson Street in Flint. Information was posted on social media from an unusual source. Councilwoman Tanya Burns was the author. It's not the first time she's used social media to speak out against gun violence. The crime happened in her ward. She says she wants everyone to know what's happening and what she says needs to change in Flint. ABC 12's Tanaya Jordan has our story.
Can we make it bigger?
Councilwoman Tanya Burns is turning to social media, not just to speak out, but to spark change.
Social media is a way of letting people know this is happening in your neighborhood. I've always used social media to raise awareness because one thing I want parents to know, you're not in it alone.
Flint's 6th Ward Councilwoman Tanya Burns says when gun violence hits her community, silence is not an option.
I'm not going to be quiet because I don't want to see another rest in peace t-shirt at a funeral.
Burns on Wednesday sharing a video on social media highlighting another shooting incident in the 6th Ward.
We had a shooting the other day where you can see there's glass still there from the back window, and then also a side window which was shot out. Then also there was numerous gun shell casings. Right now that person is in the hospital fighting for their life.
According to Burns, the shootings are a result of retaliatory youth gang violence.
10 children were shot last year, some were fatal. For me, it is getting the word out, making sure that we make our policing agencies, the Flint Police, the Genesee County Sheriff, and also our Michigan State Police, that we're watching, and that our kids are important and we need action. We need action.
She says she wants to create a comprehensive public safety plan with a gang task force, specifically for Flint.
We have got to get involved. We can no longer stand idly by and say we don't have a problem. We have a problem. We have a serious problem.
Flint Police Chief Terrence Green says the department has a detective sergeant assigned to the FBI Violent Crimes Task Force with the primary responsibility of tracking gang activities in Flint. Green adds that another team called the Special Investigation Unit also investigates gangs and narcotic traffickers in Flint. Burns says the Flint City Council voted to add job incentives so more people apply to the city's police department to help combat some of the violence.
There's a signing bonus if you sign on. We need more community policing, and so they're hiring. We need good people who care, who have a heart for the city of Flint, who want to be a part of a success.
She says the 6th Ward has positive things happening, like Berkeley Square and Orchard Grove, which will provide 10 homes for military veterans.
We also have Longfellow that they will be acquiring that property, an old school, and renovating it to have storefronts along with housing.
But Burns says you can't shine a light on the good and ignore the bad. She says youth gun violence is not just happening in the city of Flint. It is increasing across the country. Burns says fixing the issue, however, starts at home.
It's an epidemic of gun violence here in our city, and we need to make sure we're getting involved to get it taken care of.
Burns says the goal is not just to post on social media. It's to connect with residents, keep the conversation going, and demand action. In Flint, Tanaya Jordan, ABC 12 News.
Thanks, Tanaya.
And I want to give a shout out to Tanaya Jordan. She's a new person over at TV 12. She comes via way of Lansing from Detroit, and she's a journalist. She is an investigative reporter. So I appreciate her. I appreciate Courtney. I appreciate my Wolfo. I appreciate Trey with number 5. I appreciate Zane with WNEM. And so, I appreciate them for saying, let's get the truth out there. So the numbers of shootings, they keep trying to say homicides are going down. I was just on the phone not at a person's house who had gunshots at their house in the police. We didn't have police to show up. We didn't have any to show up. We didn't. House was shot up in a car. So what do we do about the gun violence? Because they're going to tell you, hey, we don't have any. I've been following this for 5 years. And until we get 5 people in the seat, we're going to invoke some changes. I'm not going to stop bringing out awareness. If you have a child who is a victim, who's in a gang, you want to get them out. There are resources. Give me a call, 810-471-7849. But I do want to say, you also have to pray. Pray for the city, pray for the young people, pray for the city officials we have. Because look, if I can pray up a stalker and a harasser to quit stalking me, prayer is a powerful thing. And whip some scriptures on them. It works. It works. So what are some of the other violence? Literally, like I said, 3:30, 4:30 last night, someone's house got shot up with Welch and Fort Hill. They said they heard about 30 rounds going on. It's every single day. It should not be our norm. I had a young lady, and we're going to play that one. Her name's Tammy. Tammy's house was shot up. And she had her daughter, she had her kids and her grandbaby, and they were there in the house. And gang resource hotline, really, Producer Jack, if you have a child that needs some help, give me a call. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to connect you to some resources. Absolutely. So Tammy had her house was shot up. I don't know how she got my personal cell phone number, but she had it. And so I listened to her story. And after I got John, I said, how did you get my number? She says, I was told by someone you can trust Councilwoman Burns. So what happened, I went over to her house. Someone shot her house up. Tammy was at work. Her oldest daughter, who just had a baby, the baby wasn't even a month old, I think. And her younger daughter and her younger son were home. Tammy was at work. Someone drove by, put 9 bullets into the house. The bullets went from the front end to the back of the house and went into the playroom of where the children were. She was terrified because the person was still on social media. I'm going to F you up. I'm going to F you up. I'm going to shoot your house up again. Police ain't going to do nothing. I'm going to F you up, be you dead. I mean, literally on Facebook doing all of this. So she went to the police department. She went to the mayor's office. Now, you got to fill out a whole application just to talk to the mayor, for them just to say he can't talk to you for 30 days or whenever. She went everywhere. She went to the sheriff's department. She went to Michigan State Police. Michigan State Police said, nope, that's a Flint problem. We can't help you. This mother was desperate and went everywhere. I get a call late at night, and it was from State Rep Cynthia Neely. And I had, if you call my phone and I don't know you, don't waste your time trying to harass me. You're going to go to voicemail because that's how I have my phone set up. And so the state rep was calling me anonymous or blocked. Weird. I don't play on people's phones. So why are you calling me that way? So State Rep Cynthia Neely was calling me blocked. My phone doesn't even ring when it does that. So she called me unblocked. And she says, Tanya, this is Cynthia. I said, hey, how are you? And she says, I need to talk to you. You gave someone, that lady that came to my house, you was with her and you had her come to my house. And I want you to know that I contacted Michigan State Police and I'm going to have you investigated and you're going to go to jail. And she is too. I said, hold up. First of all, I had nobody come here. What are you talking about? Well, she came to my house and left a message on my Ring doorbell. I said, well, play the Ring doorbell message. Well, you gave her the number. You were with, no, I sure wasn't. As a matter of fact, I told her not to come to your house. Is what I told her to do. Well, she came to my house and she left the message. So what is the message? I called Tammy. I said, well, hold on. I said, let me call her and see. And I'm going to let you, we going to ask. I said, Tammy, I said, this is Councilwoman Burns. I said, I have State Rep Cynthia Neely on the line. She states that you came to her house. Could you please tell her how you got her address and where she lives? She says, ma'am, my name is Tammy. I left my name and my number and what my reason was because I need help. I Googled you, ma'am. I need your help. I'm scared for my family. I'm scared. So this person is calling me saying that they're going to kill me. They done shot at my house once already. She proceeded, the State Rep Cynthia Neely proceeded to tell her, if you come by my house again, I will call the police. You will be arrested. Your problem is not my problem. Your problem is with Police Chief Green. State Rep, your husband is the mayor. He on speaker. It's his problem. He appoints. She came there for the mayor, not even for the state rep. She came there for the mayor to help her because he wouldn't see her in the office. If you don't want people coming to your house, see them in your office. And so when she went there, she left a message. She wasn't threatening. Ma'am, Mayor Neely, I need your help. She was scared. Bullets being pumped into your house, you at work, and she is a registered therapist, respiratory therapist, and she coming to you for help to save her family, and she met with that, and you telling people you sponsor Messiah's Law, which means that anybody who shoots into a house and someone is hurt, that you automatically face a life sentence? Come on, make that make sense. How are you as a mother going to tell another mother and be so cold? How? So when she told Tammy, she said, ma'am, I need your help. And she said, your problem is not mine. Your problem is not mine. It's with Police Chief Green. Tammy did tell it in FUB. She did at that point. So we have can we play the videotape of that one? Because they say we don't have a gun violence problem. Maybe I'm the only one know about it. This is just them. And then they tell me, I'm going to tell you, your ward is one of the safest wards. I get this all the time. Your ward is one of the safest wards because you're so active in your ward. I get this all the time. So can we play the video, please? DeAndre said, if you don't want people coming to your house, don't run about lists. And y'all, people been came to my house. A tree fell. I mean, it happens all the time. All the time. Producer Jay. Listen, Producer Jay, did you fall off? So with that incident that happened, I was shocked. You know, that mother came for help and did not get help. Oh, okay. Producer Jay, are we having technical problems? Let me send him, make sure he'll know which video. Everybody, because look, look, I hear the sirens going now.
Did you call me?
Numerous times.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to, I had stepped away. I'm sorry. I thought I had time. You was just still going.
Yeah. Don't worry. If you can put the video up, Flint residents fight for the end of gun violence in the city.
Look at this comment.
Huh?
Look at that comment on the screen.
B. Marie, that part. Big Shady 11 said Producer Jay finally getting some sleep. Oh, Steph Love said she's going to spank you. So you got somebody want to give you a spanking.
My bad. I had to run downstairs. I'm sorry. All right, what are we doing? Where you at?
I want you to put up the video, Flint residents fight to end gun violence in the city.
I have the one that says Flint families plead for safety after their home becomes a drive-by target.
I'm gonna send it to the bottom. So you should have that when I just sent it back. So one thing about it, somebody coming to you. Now, I didn't agree with the casket thing. I thought, it may be distasteful, but somebody coming to your house and bringing a casket. Look, you got 6 police cars, 6 officers out there. Look, why are you at my house with this casket? Why are you here? What is it I need to talk to you about? What is it that's going on? What is it? You cannot, sometimes you got to talk to people. Look, I talked to the stalker and he told me, well, you're not what I thought you was. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I don't. But look, he ain't calling tonight. So look, I'm grateful for that. You put the Lord on me. I sure did. I absolutely did. Oh, no, no, Producer Jay, I gave you the wrong one. That one comes next. You were right. I was wrong. So when they say that I've never said I was wrong, I was wrong. You were right with the name.
Well, I got it. You don't have to send it back.
Yeah, you are 100% right with that one. Yep, Flint families plead for safety after their home is shut up. I apologize.
I mean, what can I say? I'm the best producer in the world. So.
Oh man, there you go. You done took a whole nap, took a break, went on a hiatus. I'm gonna let you have that. And y'all, just while he's getting that, we're gonna have No, that's not the one. It should be a Mid-Michigan Now one. I'll send it down to the bottom. Now, this is going to be the family that she went to the news.
No, that was that one, some reason does it. But yeah, that's the right, this is the right one. Whenever
Okay.
you're ready.
I'm ready.
In our top story tonight, already this summer, we've seen gun violence cut young lives short in Flint. Last week, 2 teens were killed in one shooting on Banbury Place. That was last Wednesday. And you're looking at scene video right here from a 23-year-old where he was killed in a separate shooting on Pearson Road on Friday. Also, a family is reeling after a drive-by shooting that happened June 23rd. In that case, the bullets went through the home on Flint's north side, but didn't hit anyone. So far, no arrests have been made. The family has turned over all security cam video to the Flint Police Department, and investigators came out and collected shell casings from the road. This mother says she can't get any updates from police. She wants to make sure this never happens to them or anyone else in the city.
I'm a registered respiratory therapist, so I see this stuff come in early. I've seen kids come in early, and I don't want to be in that position.
Tamara Smith lives on Flint's north side. This is ring camera video taken just before 12:30 a.m. on June 23rd. Gunshots hitting the home she shares with her children. Her son called her that night while she was at work.
He called me crying, and I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I need you to come home. And I'm like, what's going on? They shooting at the house. And I said, okay. I called Maya, and then that's when she told me what was going on. And I just left.
By the time she got home, there were bullet holes through the house from the front all the way to the back. She says while police have come out, she's not getting any answers as to why the person responsible hasn't been caught.
And so I'm lost. I don't know what else to do. So I just figured I'll just contact the news.
In addition to contacting Mid-Michigan Now, Tamara also called her city councilwoman, Tanya Burns.
I took the call. She had my personal phone number. I didn't know how she got it. I did not ask her until the end because I need to hear her story. She's been desperate for help.
Burns says she knows these drive-by shootings are a problem for families. People are scared their house will be next.
And you feel like no one's helping. You know, and the gun violence, just this last week, we have a gun violence, we have a public safety problem.
Before the summer started, Mayor Sheldon Neely held a press conference announcing this will be a clean and safe summer. But Burns tells me more needs to be done to ensure the safety parts.
We need a public safety plan. We need a comprehensive public safety plan. When people are able to shoot into 2 homes within 8 minutes apart, 12:22 a.m., 12:30 a.m., and this lawless person is still out there, riding around, still doing drive-bys, posting on social media. We have a problem. They identified who, and there's a video.
Nobody should ever have to bury their child, especially if they're trying to prevent it.
Burns says this increase in violence is concerning. I have reached out to the city's communications personnel and have asked where the investigation into this drive-by shooting stands. I'm waiting to hear back.
She's still waiting. Listen, guarantee she's still waiting. Guaranteed, still waiting. And so when we have this gun violence, this is part of what creating the Color of Law Coalition is, so that people can come together to say, hey, this is what we need. These are our demands. We got to start coming together to make our elected officials do what we all need to do. And that's just the fact. That's just the fact. And I'm not stopping it. Literally, you can't just go to these scenes and talk to these parents and think that you're not going to cry, you're not going to stay up and be worried, that it's not going to keep running through your mind. I mean, unless you are just a heartless individual. Because even I called the mom today whose 2 sons were shot. You think every time this could be somebody in my family, and it has been in my family, not my children. But this is preventable. And we got to start making this conversation a normal one, start enforcing the laws, we want to get rid of certain things. Where's the plan? And Chief again, well, I have one with a gang task force with the FBI and the ATF. Sir, that don't work. You need your own here. Producer Jay, was that the story? Is this another one?
It's the next one.
Let's put up the next, because y'all, they think now when they do right, I'll praise them. I will, but let's go ahead.
We got some breaking news too.
Wait, what's the breaking news?
I'm gonna send it to you while this is playing. It's dealing with the Flint Police Department, though.
Oh wow!
So I don't know. We might want to play this though, but we'll play this one first.
Play that one first, please.
Nobody is saying anything. We don't know. We're so frustrated and not knowing.
A young woman tragically killed on Flint's west side. The shooting happened on April 27th. The police say they responded to a home on Thomas Street and found the young woman dead. Right now, there are no suspects. The family, they're frustrated and they're scared. 18-year-old Laviana McCann was a mother to an 8-month-old baby. Her aunt telling me the young woman was also 13 weeks pregnant. Her family is left wondering who could have done this and why.
It's the not knowing of who did it and the reason behind it.
A memorial for Laviana sits outside the place she took her last breath. Her life ended in what police call a tragedy.
Laviana was bright sunshine, right? Funny, loves her family, very family oriented. Love being a mom.
Laviana's aunt, Monique Campbell, tells me family was everything to her.
But she was just a beautiful soul.
Family says that beautiful soul was ended at the hands of someone, a person they are begging to come forward.
Her life was just as much important than anybody else's. Why nobody is speaking up?
The night of April 27th was supposed to be a night of celebration. Monique tells me her niece was at a friend's house.
Actually, a friend's prom that she was supporting and excited for her friend.
As the family pleads for the public's help to find whoever did this, Monique says this is a reminder to always remember life is fragile.
You never know your last minute. You never know the last second that you will be able to do or say anything to your family, your loved ones. Make sure you cherish those moments.
Police are investigating and they need people to come forward. If you know who could have done this on April 27th on Thomas Street, call the police department at 810-237-6900, or you can remain anonymous and call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-5245. As I mentioned, Laviana had an 8-month-old baby. A GoFundMe has been started to help care for that child. We'll have a link at midmichigannow.com if you'd like to donate.
I think that's the one. So this was in the 6th Ward on Thomas Street. It was right after the prom. May she rest in heaven. They're asking for information still about that case. This was the one I just seen, that I had seen when I was talking to you. I don't know what that one was about. Remember you were saying, what is that I'm hearing?
Oh yeah, seems like from reading the comments that they went and kicked in a lady's door.
Okay,
and that's all. A lot of the officers that's out there, looks like majority of them are always in the council chamber. So
I'm gonna check on that one.
Yep.
Look, part 2, we're gonna have the answers for you with that video.
Yeah.
For part 2. Because I want to make sure I get everybody good information. So here is another. This was April. We are in June. So this was just April. She just lost her life. So in this area, we know we have a problem. Thomas Street has actually had about 3 homicides on it. Golf side has had some shootings, and then there was a shooting on Paducah. I've been to that one, and a lot of these was a Paducah, Tyrone, then Orchard, Fremont. And so I want the shootings to stop. Nothing is that serious. Walk away. Walk away is an option. It's an option. They've closed Scott School. They put the Scott School kids over with Southwestern, and these kids don't like each other. And they over there in summer school fighting every day. And some of them they're in gangs. There are gang members in there. There are gang members in there. So let's go to the next one, please. Because we could go videos with them keep saying, oh, crime is down. Well, some of them don't even make them till ain't nobody dead. Yes, that one was gang related. Yes, gang related.
This has got to stop. This is no way to live. Nobody in the city of Flint or anywhere should be living like this.
On New Tonight, a concerned Flint resident speaking out tonight after she says someone fired dozens of shots into an SUV this afternoon, hitting nearby homes that were occupied at the time. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the woman says it's another example that something needs to be done about the gun violence. Our Rachel Sweet is here with reaction. Rachel?
Tanya Burns, who is also running for city council, tells me she was out enjoying her Sunday when she noticed police present between Berkeley and Forest Hill Avenue this afternoon.
You should not have to be scared to drive down the street to live in your home. This is not the way to live.
Signs of recent gun violence are visible outside of a home on Forest Hill Avenue on this Sunday afternoon. Inside the home, a 3-year-old child who could have become another victim of a drive-by shooting. The people who lived there were afraid for their safety, didn't want to go on camera, but say some of the bullets hit the side of their home where their young daughter's playroom sits.
You know, when you see the police out here and you're hearing gunshots that unfortunately we're becoming conditioned to, you go see what's happening in the middle of the day. Now, people say don't go out at night. It's complete lawlessness. We have got to start speaking out. Our police need some help. We're operating at dangerously low levels, staffing levels for our Flint Police Department.
Flint resident and city council candidate Tanya Burns says 40 shell casings were found at the scene, and luckily no one was hurt. Sadly, this isn't the first time a young child has been impacted by gun violence in Flint. Last year, 3-year-old Messiah Williams lost his life tragically to a drive-by shooting. In order to prevent this from happening again, Messiah's law is making its way through the state legislation. If passed, it would increase penalties for drive-by shootings that injure or kill minors, like the one that took Messiah's life. Saturday, on the 1-year anniversary of Messiah's passing, his family continues to push for that legislation to become law.
We want to protect children and families because the community has come together and given us such strength that we have to try and give it back to them in some way. And if we can save a child's life, that's all we want to do.
Messiah's law was introduced earlier this year and now sits with the House and Senate before Governor Gretchen Whitmer can decide whether to sign them into law. We also reached out to Flint police about today's shooting. We have not heard back.
And they still waiting. And Big Shady, y'all know I'll go out. I don't always throw in a little makeup eye, and I don't spend a bunch of time in no makeup because I don't do that. So I may have had a little bit of a tan, but your girl is tanless now. So I'm gonna be out here in these streets trying to get a tan here. And with this time, I spend more time in meetings and working on stuff. But I do want to say that I mentioned, if I told you, when Tammy was talking about Messiah's law, and with that law was supposed to be not supposed to be State Rep Cynthia Neely was supporting that. But when it came to Tammy, it didn't matter. You had another Black mother who asked another Black mother for help, and her back was turned on her and told her, your problem is with Chief Green. And if you come to my house again or contact me, I'm calling the Michigan State Police. Not cool. Not cool. Should have never happened. Public, we have to understand that when you are a public official, you work for the public. I had a lady literally the other night. I never go to sleep, Dr. Padroni, before midnight. Very rare. I had a person call me, and they called me at 2:13 a.m. and I was in a sound sleep. And she says, I hate to bother you, Councilwoman Byrne, but I called police. No one has showed up. The neighbor at this house on Stevenson is beating his wife, and I can hear her screaming. I said, okay, let me call. And I called, put in, let them know that what's going on, because sometimes to add like the extra, look, this is legitimate. This is a problem. And I went back, I called the resident back. I said, let me know, or send me a text, and let me know. You cannot be a public official and then think that you don't ever want to be bothered. Don't run for public office if you don't want to be bothered. Don't run for public office if you don't want to be inconvenienced. Flint has a great need, and we are so poorly served that we are learning to accept poor service from our elected officials. You got to demand better. That's why we have the Color of Law Coalition, to expect and to demand better from our elected officials. So, there's one more. Now, when they do right, I will shine the light on them for that one. I absolutely will. They had one that they actually, I left the meeting. It was funny, and it ain't funny, I should say. It's like, oh, she's leaving the meeting. And I left the meeting. I planned an emergency meeting. Chief Green was then allowed to talk to me. And here's the thing. Chief Green knows what to do. I don't know why he won't do it. I have talked to him numerous times. He has the knowledge. It is him applying it. It's the mayor running his department. I'm like, you need to stop that. You need to stop it. I know, and I don't know. And people say, well, I can tell you this, it's a different kind of action on different sides, because my ward is split. It's split. And the people on this side should get the same as this side. That's all I care about. So can you play the next video? Because he was right on this. He was on this. He caught the people, and I praised him for doing it. He met me at a meeting, and he showed up and he did it right. Yeah. Producer Jay, y'all, did he take another nap?
No, you just gotta hold on because the ad is playing right now. I'm about to put it in.
Time didn't, and we need the National Guard on our streets maintaining. Well, look, we coming up on the 1st of the month, and it's gonna be on the weekend, and we know, and it's hot, and we know that our shooting goes up. It goes up. It just does. Put this on Lisa Slock, and it should be on all of their desks. Also, we are writing a form letter. Sheena is basically writing it and giving the input, and the form letter we're sending to representatives. So if you want to be a part of changing things in our community and bring about awareness, then what you need to do is give me a call or contact me for the Color of Law Coalition. Okay, let's play the video.
6th Ward Councilwoman Tanya Burns is celebrating the Flint Police Department and Chief Terrence Green. After calling an emergency meeting in her ward, Burns says police made arrests and got guns off the streets. Burns telling me that she received calls about 2 drive-by shootings that occurred over the last month, and something needed to be done.
What I didn't want to do was show up at another funeral.
This was video taken on December 30th, just after 2:30 in the morning. A car pulls up, people get out, and it's something no one wants to be awakened by. Multiple gunshots ringing through the neighborhood. Burns says thankfully no one was hurt, but that's not always the case in these drive-by shootings.
Many times they are, and the bullets don't have names on it. And those bullets don't just go in one home. Not only is there property damage, but there's physical life damage. And we've even had fatalities.
Back in 2020, 3-year-old Messiah Williams was asleep at a home on Flint's east side when people shot up the house. He died from the injuries. Last year, 9-year-old Kendall was asleep at her grandmother's house when bullets went through the home. She was shot in the chest and survived.
We look at the drive-bys and we look at the culture as it has changed. My demographic and my age, we never saw drive-by. And then we look at this, it's the norm.
According to an Arizona State University study, drive-by shootings are more likely to occur in cities with a gang problem.
I have been very vocal about we need a gang task force. a gang task force to combat dealing with the issues with the gangs, the young people, because these are kids. No, it's school age.
Flint doesn't have a task force, but Burns believes that will cut down on these drive-bys. She says the recent arrests are a definite step forward.
Let's get these guns and these criminals off the streets. I just want to thank Chief Green for him quickly taking action on this.
Burns says these drive-bys aren't just impacting the 6th Ward, but they're across the city. She encourages anyone who might have information to call police.
So when he does right, I will do that. Now the difference is this was in the white area. Now come on, Chief Green. He was swift with it. We got to have a gang task force. He's had shootings on his street around the corner. I mean, come on. You can't say that you don't need a specialized unit for a gang task force. You know, and it's maybe he's using a special unit. Maybe this is what they're going to work on. I'm going to look at that other video because looked like they were taking people or kids out. Looks like that's what they were doing, but I have not watched it. I have not watched it. See, I'm like the motion out on the floor just obliging to be used as a campaign video. So we have a ways to go, but if we want change, we got to get involved. Change does not happen unless you get involved. You have to get involved. You do. So the ACLU letter, can you put that up? First of all, I'm sorry. Let's play the video of Mr. Terrence Levy. Let's play that. Can we put the video first, please?
You have to narrate. There's no sound.
Oh, why is there no sound?
I must have saved the wrong one.
Okay. So this is Beverly Biggs Levy. That's in the black hat. That is Jedediah. That's Beverly's husband. This is on June 1st. They were told to get out of the car, stopped for impeding traffic, which they're pulled over in between those little white lines. You see the white lines. If you back it up, and I don't know, you can probably freeze that frame and go back, can't you? When you get one of the white ones, the one of them. So this was a peaceful protest. You got Deborah Luna in the back, and you can see the officer is even standing in the white line. Mr. Levy's going to be snatched from the car while it is in drive and put down to the bricks. You can see the car is within the white lines. Now, well, the car is driving with no driver. It's moving with no driver. $7,000 worth of damage was done to the vehicle. They did not make sure that the car, the officer of driver secured the car, put it in park. He did not do that before he, because it was not in park. You see there, Mr. Levy down on the ground. Mr. Levy was taken to a paddy wagon, which was there to arrest protesters. The paddy wagon was there with Chief Green directing people. Jedediah Brown had a bus, a lot of people in a Sprinter bus, and Flint residents showed up in support to show solidarity to the injustices to Flint. They put Mr. Levy in a paddy wagon. The paddy wagon took him to the police station. He was told to change his clothes into an orange jumpsuit. He changed his clothes to the orange jumpsuit. He said then immediately 5 minutes later, they told him change your clothes, put back on your regular clothes. Then he was released and farmer's market, taken to farmer's market, written a ticket after his car was towed. This is a ticket offense. Impeding the traffic is a ticketable offense. This is an abuse of power every day of the week. He was taken to released from the police and released in the parking lot of the farmer's market and written a ticket. The ticket, I don't know if you even have it anymore. I had sent it to you. And it was a ticket. It was impeding traffic, which is a misdemeanor. So all of this was to show Jedediah, each time you come to town, in my opinion, we're going to harass you, the people you with who are supporting you. We're going to keep shutting this down. We want you to go away. Now, I've had officers tell me they want Jedediah to go away. I have had officers verbally tell me we want him to go away. And so when we look at this, this is a problem. So now we have got the ACLU. Oh, can we show Ms. Wolford? They also pulled Ms. Wolford out. And here was the interesting thing. Ms. Wolford's car was very similar to Beverly Biggs Levy's car. She was arrested or detained, put in the back of her car, of the police officer, without telling. It's just crazy. Put in handcuffs. And can you play Ms. Wolford's?
I've been hearing a lot of stuff. I didn't know. They told me to keep moving when I was talking. They told me. I was talking to. I wasn't listening to the people on the sidewalk. I was listening to the people on the.
So where did all of that get us? So where did all of that get us? It got us to the ACLU. And I got to bring that up because that is like the smallest writing ever. And so I got to pull that up because I sent it to you. Yeah, you know I ain't gonna be able to see that. Oh, why you even playing? you know that. What I sent it to you earlier, so it was down in there. Okay. So the ACLU is the American Civil Liberties Union, which is getting involved because Flint has had, listen, a kabillion, yes, I'm making up words, complaints. So June 26, Chief Terrence Green, Flint Police Department, regarding contacts with demonstrators. Dear Chief Green, citizens of Flint have approached the ACLU of Michigan with concerns about recent incidents involving police officers and citizen demonstrators. As a part of our inquiry, we write specifically about the incident that occurred on or about June 1st, 2025. According to the reports we have received and a video recording we have reviewed, a Flint police officer had a discussion with a driver we are told is Mr. Terrence Levy. The discussion concludes with the physical extraction of Mr. Levy from his vehicle. He was then taken to the ground by multiple officers and then placed in handcuffs. We are further told that Mr. Levy is 70 years old. The incident occurred during a citizen's protest. We seek additional information about the incident, and included as a part of this letter is a Freedom of Information Act, which also will say a FOIA. The ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, is prompted to inquire into this matter because the organization's long-standing position is that the right to protest is protected by the Constitution, and officers must ensure and not hinder the ability to exercise that right. Police response to protests should not depend upon the topic, content, or viewpoint of the protest. Further, police should always seek to de-escalate tensions with those involved in demonstrations and should increase police presence only when necessary, based on actual and not anticipated conditions. Lowering the temperature when emotions are high can preserve health and lives. A study by Robin Engel, a criminal justice professor at the University of Cincinnati, found that de-escalation training has the potential to dramatically reduce injuries among both civilians and law enforcement officers. She stated, "I was surprised and thrilled that we find a reduction in injuries. As a social scientist, most of the studies, we do not find enough evidence to show anything, but in this case, I was really surprised at the finding." A high level of discipline is required for an officer to contain inevitable emotions that flow from verbal confrontation, but it is imperative that officers avoid ventilating anger, impatience, of frustration in ways that cause injury. Notwithstanding the officer's view or whether persons, I know I got to go to the next one. So hold on. Persons, the ACL, I got to pause this one. This is an emergency. I'm serious. So just hold on.
Want to grow your business? Advertise with The Tanya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com.
It's a lot going on. We'll share that tomorrow. I will share that tomorrow. The ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, requests limitation and waiver of fees pursuant to FOIA, which provides for such limitation and waiver where searching for or furnishing the records can be considered as primarily benefiting the general public because it is likely to contribute to public understanding and is not in the commercial interest of the American Civil Liberties Union. See MCL 15.234. If the request for the waiver or fees is denied, and it will cost more than $100 to process the request, please contact the undersigned before proceeding. Please respond within the time mandated by the statute. If the request is denied in whole or part, please justify all deletions and redactions by reference to specific exemptions under FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Separate any exempt material from non-exempt material and make the non-exempt material available. Direct all responses to undersigned. If there are any questions or you require further information about this request, please contact me. And she gives the number. Thank you for your courtesies and cooperation. Mark P. Francher, Staff Attorney, Racial Justice Project. Do you know how embarrassing this is that we got a letter from the ACLU and should have had about 50 of them before this one? This is a problem. This is a problem. And so it's embarrassing that we have these things. Let people speak and let them sit down. Let them protest. Stop violating people's First Amendment rights. Y'all don't see me going off on Doug when he skip up there. Y'all don't see me going off on Doug when Doug says all his little nasty names, said I wasn't black, that I was orange. Doug called me all kind of names. Doug might want to worry about that chief judge on that court date we just went to. That's what he might want to worry about. And so when we have American Civil Liberties Union, that means for them to take up and to send correspondence means that they have seen some serious issues and concerns that bear looking at, because they just don't get involved. Y'all know how many we done had. And so this is a problem. And it's embarrassing because the mayor running this city like it's the Carter, like it's Nino Brown, New Jack City. You don't mess with him. This is not good governing. The people don't win this way. The people of the city that he governs doesn't win. You beating people into submission. You misusing and abusing your authority. You instructed people to go after the seniors at Hasselbrink for moving the flower pots that they bought and the benches they bought with Hasselbrink. And I'm going to tell you something. State Rep Cynthia Neely sits idly by and is silent. She's mute. She doesn't talk. Worst kind of politician, elected officials, one who doesn't have an opinion. But when they have one and they speak up, they say something like, because your house is being shot up, I'm going to call the police on you. You're taking a check and don't want to do the job. I can't respect that. They say Trevor says she missed over 300 times voting or 300 days. And then the mayor want to talk about attendance. Check with the state rep's attendance. She has a responsibility. Hold Slotkin, McDonald Rivet, and yes, you too, Cherry, responsible because they're all in our district. But when people go to your house, that means they're desperate because your husband, the mayor, is not doing his job. You got a whole application to fill out to see him, for them just to tell you no, he ain't seeing you. And let me say this. These kids are violent that are in these gangs. They will shoot your house up and kill you. They will shoot your car out. They will stalk you. They will plan to go in your neighborhood and how quick they can get in and how quick they can get out. I've seen it. They make a plan. They shot up some of the wrong houses. And Flint Township, can we put up the Flint Township one? Which I think this is by Sunridge, which is right next to Flint. Look, 10 feet away. It's right on the border. They found young people with these guns, and it was on Producer Jay. It was on, I sent you that one too.
Just keep talking. I got it.
Yeah, I can't even think of it. It's Flint something Township. And so these kids riding around. Now people go, well, I don't want them pulling over my child. But some of y'all child is dangerous. You know, they dangerous. They need help. So if your child is in a gang and you don't want them pulled over and you know it's the problem and they contribute to your household with money, with funds from drugs and scamming, you part of the problem as a parent. You absolutely part of the problem. When your child is contributing, it's like I told you, that's not the kid's responsibility to take care of the kids. If you need help, ask for resources. So in this, and I can't. Can you make that bigger over the whole screen so I can read it? So Flint Township Police Department, what started out to be a routine traffic stop last night, quickly turned serious when Flint Township officers discovered 3 guns with high-capacity magazines inside the vehicle. Leave that up there. The people, they were 17 and 8. You can leave it up big, please, because I want them to see this. It was a 17 and 18-year-old that they pulled over and had these guns, the 3 guns. And you can look at that what was that little roll? Look, I don't even know. I don't all this that little thing with the look like it's is that a bleaky or whatever they call it? Some of my little gun. What is the thing with the double round thing on it? I know about the clips, but what is the thing that they look like they back in the 20s with Machine Gun Kelly in them when there was the gangsters, the older gangsters who didn't shoot up people's houses, who had a street code of ethics. 17 and an 18-year-old last night. Oh, that's a drum. Okay. So who can tell me what is a drum? How many is in a drum? What does the drum do? I don't need all that artillery. Okay. So you have got a 17 and an 18-year-old with this type of gunfire in their car last night, riding around Genesee County. Riding around with a gun drum, and extra clips. 50 RDs. Oh, so that could shoot 100 rounds. Lord have mercy. Lord. And so when you be hearing, they be saying Pulaski Street had over 100 and something, where the mother, the 10-month-old baby was shot, and his grandmother was in her late 40s, was killed. They were both killed. Over 100 something shots fired through that house. So this is a drum. And look, I'm learning. I'm learning.
So those, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, so those two handguns that you have there in the screen, those two clips looks like extended magazines, those two guns can shoot like a machine gun. Those two handguns can shoot like a machine gun.
$17 and $18. Look, everybody was telling us what we're gonna do when we graduate. Everybody had little boyfriend, girlfriend problems. It was not the same thing. Then in Flint, it was drive up and down the strip, which was Clio Road and Pearson Road. We were learning how to do pimp turns, and your car had to be clean. You had to have your Trues and your Vogues. Everybody, mom and daddy worked for GM, and the cars was clean. You sat out at the car wash, you chilled. That's what you did. This is what they're doing now. If your child is out here with this type of gunfire, and you know you got a problem child, because parents, I'm nosy. I'm going through everything of my children. You don't have no right to privacy. You don't pay no rent. I'll remove the door, and my kids are grown and did not play. It was one time my daughter got out of hand, and it was one time my husband was like, well, I just think you just let it cool, Tanya. I called Kathy. I had my baseball cap on. I went over there to the house, and the mother, well, she don't have to leave. I said, let me tell you something. She leaving here, or I'm going to be moving furniture, and this motherfucker understand that. One time, I ain't have no more problems. I meant exactly what I said, because I'm a parent first to all three of my children, and to my nieces and to my nephews. I'm not going to play with them because I don't do regrets. You're going to get it right from me. If your child riding around like he's Williams gun sight or he's Dunham's gun section, you're the problem. If you're allowing your child to pay for your rent, your hair, your nails, your consumers, your car payment, and if they drive one of these fast cars and they ain't got no job, you're allowing them to scam, you're the damn problem. If your children need help, reach out. I will help you. But when your children are riding around like this, it's other kids riding around like this, and they're killing each other. The killing has to stop. And these not the only ones. It happened all the time. All the time. And they pulling them over because I know my son left here, wasn't gone but a block. Called me on speaker, and he is going to be 30 this year. He says, Mom, I got pulled over. It's the Michigan State Police. I have you on speaker. I said, okay. He said, they asked me for my driver's license. Did you give it to them? Give me your gun permit. Because my son, because I got all these little creepy stalkers, he's like, hey, you need a new gun. You know, and he brought 3 and said, choose one. You need some stronger firepower. I believe in the Second Amendment, the right to carry. I believe in that. And so when my son got to the corner, I said, give him also that your CPL. He gave the officer CPL. Tell him where your guns are at. And the officer just happened to notice, not using any favor. He's hearing me talking because I'm out there talking to the officers. I'm dealing then with the Michigan State Police troopers. You know, I go to the scene, I talk to the officers. I'm trying to bridge it with the community. I've taken kids and families to safe houses before. Not once, about 3 or 4 times. Getting them out of harmful situations. Whole families sometimes. And so the officer is hearing when my son doesn't call me by my name because I don't roll like that. He's not saying Tanya Burns. You know, he's saying mom. And I said, Osage, just do what he tells you to do. I said, you are okay. You know, he's in the car by himself. I said, is your mom Tanya Burns? And he said, yes. He says, oh, okay. He says, well, we just want to check and make sure. Absolutely. Please continue to do your job. I'm not stopping you. He's properly licensed with everything. I said, why did you pull him over? And then they did say some BS with that. Look, he got profiled. That's what happened. I'm going to be honest. He got profiled. That's what happened. And then they let him go because everything is registered. You know, I believe in the Second Amendment. My children are grown. Well, they are all grown now. But my son was pulled over, and it's a nervous thing. I've been pulled over. I have been pulled over before, you know, and I tell him I have a right. You know, I carry a gun. Here is my ID, and here is my CPL, because you're supposed to let them know. So if you have a gun permit, make sure you have it when you're pulled over, because by law you have got to give it. And Avis, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you with the 10. Thank you. Thank you, Avis Hopkins. Oh, thank you, Stanley Wood. Stanley is my friend now, because Stanley used to give me, this is a sidebar. Stanley used to give me the business. But look, we done hugged and made up. And Thomas Denton used to give me the business too. He used to give me the business. But we good now too. So things can change when we pray and stand on it. And so if your child, niece, nephew, cousin, neighbor is riding around like they are the gun shop at Williamson's gun store, you the problem. Get your children under control. And if you can't control them, reach out for help. Because it is very likely, this is a hot Flint summer already. These kids, I've literally seen videos where kids, a mother, 2 streets, the kids were both in gangs. This was 2 years ago. One house was shot up 3 times. The other house was shot up, oh my God, I have to ask Tammy how many times. So many times it was ridiculous too. They even shot from an intersection, a 4-way cross, and they just shot down. And in every house, like going like 8 or 9 houses down. And a bullet went just past a lady who was in her last trimester, and a bullet went right by her stomach. And so when we talk about these things and these parents, fathers, don't give up on your children. We need you. We need the fathers and the uncles. If the fathers aren't there, we need you to intervene. We need the people who, and I was talking to some of the old drug dealers. I messed up my city. I need y'all to help fix it for real. We need y'all to intervene. I need for y'all, if you want as part of our Color of Law Coalition, contact me so we can do some good. Save our kids. These kids don't ever feel love. When I taught in school, some of these kids never felt love or someone telling them that they're loved. I remember one of the young men who told me, and I dealt with a lot of them, y'all just don't even understand. I employed young people with my company. And I remember the first one, his name was Ward. He says to me, Mrs. B, I never had a bed of my own. First time he went out to dinner for his birthday, I took him. He was 23. He had never been out to dinner for his birthday. I had 3 brothers out of Detroit. One of them, my niece fell in love with, and she got 2 kids. God bless her. And I love my little nieces. They are actually here, little London and Naraya. And they're my great nieces. And my niece is a post lady now. She works for the Postal Service. I'm very proud of Amani. And her children's father, she's got 2 children. I literally housed them. They got them an apartment. It was 3 brothers. They just didn't have no place to go. Didn't have no guidance. They would have been in them streets. I remember one time when I was able to run my company that they had, they would be on the promo van in Detroit, and they had a gun. Someone said, well, they got a gun. Well, I went down there. Y'all know I did. He had a gun. By the time I blessed him out, took the gun, took it to the Detroit Police Department. What you won't do is disrespect me and disrespect yourself. You won't do that. And you're on probation. You won't be doing that. And the thing is, sometimes we have to intervene and to fill in the gap. And you do it because you love people. You want something better for them. And these weren't bad kids, helping them get apartments and making sure they're working. And this is so much in our community that we just say, I'm going to shut my door and let it go. Well, often it's at your door, because I know right at the telephone pole at my driveway was yellow tape on Labor Day. It don't go away. It does not go away. So if you are a male who wants to be a part of a mentorship program, give me a call. Contact me. Inbox me. Good night, JWC. Inbox me. Contact me. But you cannot recover from this artillery. The young man fighting for his life, who was shot, he's fighting for his life. He don't know if he'll ever be able to walk again. It's very real. So we're going to close out with this. And we're going to talk about tomorrow, I think tomorrow or Tuesday. Oh, call in. We said we we're going to do call in. Darn it. Producer Jay, are you up for a couple calls? Oh, Clerk, you didn't got to ask sign up. You already in it. You didn't even get a choice.
Let me get the number ready.
Hey, Sandy. Look, Sandy is in the chat. Hey, Sandy, sending you love and prayers. Sandy Essel, she's in there. Sandy, how are you doing? I didn't get a chance to call you today or text you. How are you doing? Just put it in the chat. If you want to call in, you're welcome to call in. You don't have to, but you are welcome. But everybody keep her in your prayers. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about what is going on with Bishop Christopher Martin and his family. What is happening with all these texts? I haven't had a chance to read them all. Haven't had a chance. We're going to talk about that. We breaking it down in different issues so we can get some time into it. We're going to talk about that budget tomorrow too, because the mayor tried to pull a fast one. So, he's trying to get the number together. So if you want to call in, the number's going to be up there. The Bishop Christopher Martin thing, I don't know who put all the text, but oh baby, he calling people the F word from the LGBTQ community. They doing it all, literally. So look, I produced a J. So if y'all want to call in. If you want to call in before he do it, you can call in at 810-471-7849 while he's getting that number ready. If you want to call in, you can call it 810-471-7849. People have been calling me and inboxing me the video with Angie Tyler. I have not had a chance to watch it. But if you want to call in, you can call in now. Oh, there we go. He got the number. Chime in with Tanya, 810-354-5843. So if you want to call in, I haven't heard so many sirens since we've just been here. You can feel free to call in. Tell me what you want to talk about. What's going on? what do you think about this Christopher Marcus? I haven't had a chance to read all of this, but whoever is sharing those messages, it's not good. And what is his Bishop Sheard going to do? Because at this time, it's time for them to really look at, he's a bishop, and you going off on the people. Then he mocked somebody being sick in the comments and told me it was the illness that got him. I'm like, what is he doing? He did call, I think he referred to me and Councilwoman Winfrey Carter's actions as trifling. He's so special. Yeah.
Hello, my friend.
Well, hey, caller, what's your name and who are you calling from? Is this Jasmine?
This is Sandy.
Hey, Sandy, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
How's
I'm hanging in there. It's been rough.
Well, you are in our prayers. How's your husband feeling?
He's doing good. It's really took a toll on Brooke, but we're leaving it to God, and that's all we can do. I got back, and my son had an infection in his feeding tube, and so we're fighting that off, and I've just been busy trying to keep him healthy and trying to keep my wits.
Well, you are.
But I'm just taking a back seat for a minute.
I completely
I hope
understand.
people understand.
Well, if you need me, give me a call. If you need
I
me.
certainly will. And I don't. Words will not say enough how much I appreciate everything that you've done. I really, really appreciate it. I'm so sorry to hear about this shooting in Flint today. And I haven't really been on social media much.
You take care of you.
Quiet right now.
Take care of you and your family, and take as long as you want.
I'm just taking a breather for a minute. As soon as I know something, I everything that went down, I didn't do nothing wrong, and it's just sad the way that things have went, and and then she got on there and admitted that the number was there, and it could have all been settled by just saying it that night, but hey, it is what it is, I guess.
Well, it's going to be some things, coming, changing. The ACLU is getting involved. I know that you had the attorney Kaczynski reach out to you. That's out of Birmingham. She did have the number 15 to speak. And sometimes we got to go through something to come out better on the other end. But you are in my prayers, and everyone here is praying for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll get through this somehow.
We can.
Somehow.
Well, I appreciate you, Sandy, and sending your love, and give Brooke a hug for me.
I certainly will. We'll have to get together and do lunch or something.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, just call me. Just whenever you're ready, just call me. All right, talk to you later. Have a good night. So if you want to call in, there was another caller. You can call in. You can call back. So listen, we all have to get involved. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic, Protestant, if you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, we got to stand together. We have to. They win when we don't. Whether you're male, female, whether you're LGBTQ, we have to stand together. We have to. We have got to stand together. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, or if you're Green Party, or if you are independent, we have to stand together. It has to be the humanity of our community. And they keep us apart because we don't come together. Everyone wants basic things like food. And by the way, they voted down Liddell, Candace, and Judy voted down St. Mark's again for like the 5th or 6th time. They voted it down to feeding the community. And so we have to stand together. If you want to call in, chime in 810-354-5843. Because we're gonna get off of here. If you would like to donate to Producer J, Cash App $1 Producer J 1987. And I want to send a special thank you to Keith Downey in Texas. We send you a heart, Keith. Thank you for what you do, and thank you, Producer J. What's up?
Hello, Tanya. How are you?
Who am I speaking to?
Roxy 2, Roxy 3.
I'm sorry, who?
Foxy 2, Roxy 3.
Oh, Foxy. Look, I like that name. How you doing?
I'm doing right. I'll be following you. I'll be doing live, and I'm bringing awareness as much as I can, to the area. I live in Washington, D.C., but I'm concerned about what's happening. Don't send Candace. Don't send Liddell back here. Keep Liddell there with you. Okay, anyway.
Can we make a trade?
No, I can come, but she can stay there too. But I was calling to see, because it seems like a lot of mayors are using the police department to weaponize against the residents. You all are not the only one. Harvey, Illinois is doing the same thing. And I'm finding out a few other mayors are doing it. What can we, YouTubers or content creators, help in helping you bring awareness to that, to try to see if we can stop that from happening with you all in regards to your meetings and the residents?
I think the messaging has to be the same, and it has to be consistent. I deal with content creators, and I'm going to be honest with you, they're really good. The content creators are very factual, that they create a video library, and to put out information is giving you education to change our future. And they really are educating. I always give shout out Xavier 8110 Flint. He does a lot of research. He just graduated from USC, and he is a journalist. Another journalist is A.K. Cole. He is a journalist, and then he does content creating. We have our local here. We have got Mayor Karen Weaver, Flint Urban News Network, where she has hers, and she does different things like Black Money Matters and Clutching Your Pearls, and she does these shows to bring out awareness. We have 810 News Media Group with Mickey and Winters Hall and Trevor, and so it's making sure we get all of the media groups on the same page. What is it that our communities are missing? One, employment. We have a issue with poverty, education. We have an issue with gun violence. And so it's getting all of these on the same page, same messaging, same page, and then taking it to the change makers. The change makers are the people who are elected. People tend to think the city council does it all. Job Corps is a federal one. That should be at our Congresswoman McDonald Rivet. Our change makers are our lawmakers, the ones that we elected, and we need to know, where do we lay our burdens down? People will lay everything down at city council, and it's not. That's just our local. We have an executive branch and a legislative branch, but that's why I talk about, so we can educate. Take it to them. That's why we created the Color of Law Coalition, so that we would be able to take our demands and to the lawmakers, which are our change makers, to say, this is what we want. What do we have to do? And that means at every single level, because without it, you don't have a voice. And we don't. They feel that we're unorganized. When we are organized, you can take the civil rights movement. It changes everything. You may or not, and then people didn't.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, they did not like each other. Was it Ralph Bunche, Dr. King, Malcolm X? You had, what was the black senator? He was a mug to deal with. I can't think of his name. He was a piece of work. They didn't all like each other, but they had a common thing that they were going to work with each other. I tell people, watch the Rustin Byron story, Netflix. Wonderful story. Wonderful story. Because you have to understand we are all fighting the same issues, that none of us are just living so great that it's just, I can't be bothered. Or it affects someone. If it ain't affecting us, it affects someone we know, a friend or a relative. The opioid drug epidemic is a problem. And so we have to have groups that say to our elected officials, our change make. Clayton Powell, thank you, Stephanie Rogers. Clayton Powell was a piece of work.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And so when we go to them and say, as a group, you have power because you're moving as a pack, as a group. That's when you listen. You people listen when you move and you're organized, when you're well organized. When Black Lives Matter was well organized, it changed things. But then you get people who want to get the money and they get involved and they miss it. They make it about them. It has always got to be about all the people and not one individual. So.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Burns. Look, I stand with you. I talk about it whenever I go live or I go on other content.
Listen, inbox me your show. Inbox me your show so I can watch it and share it.
Okay, it's Foxy, Foxie 2, Roxy 3, Roxie 3.
Okay, all right. Look, put it in the chat so we have it. Put it in the chat so everybody can see. Put it in the chat. Oh, listen, thank you.
Also, Minion with Opinion. He's also, me and him have collaborated together, and because he has a larger platform than I do, so we have collaborated together, and we're trying to bring awareness to Harvey, Illinois, and Flint, because both the mayors are using the police to weaponize the residents, and I'm just tired of it. I'm like, it just hurt my feelings. And then when I saw what happened to the young lady, Miss Savage, and the other gentleman, he's injured and she's injured. I'm like, Liddell and Candace, how much more are you going to keep letting people before you going to wait for somebody to be severely in the hospital before you stop using them as your little pawn? It's enough is enough. Time to grow up. You got business to take care of. You got a city. It's like you got a city, like you just said. You got a city that's got violent crime. You got young people out here running amok. You got other things that's going on in the city. The water is not good. It's still not good. People are still sick on the water. And you want to sit up there with petty stuff and keep weaponizing the police after the residents because they're frustrated, they're tired. And when people are tired and they're frustrated and look like nothing's going to help them, they're going to lash out. And you can't keep using the police on them.
That's it. And people are. Flint is fatigued. At some point, the pressure cooker is going to pop. People don't have the water. You can't drink for a tap. All service lines are not complete. We have officers who should be kicking in drug doors, not putting out people in city council, and they don't even want to be there. They're like, that's not their specific area of training. They to get these.
I saw the president of the police union, and he was like, the police are tired of being a pawn for the board and the mayor. And he was like, they're tired of being a pawn. And it's like, we got to do the job, but we don't want to. We want to, there's things out there in the street that need to be handled.
Yeah.
You got people out here that need the police that's not showing up because they're too busy down at the board meeting dealing with your little petty stuff. Grow up. And Liddell, I don't know why she's sitting up there acting like she's so scared. You from D.C., girl. And D.C. is not the safest place in the world. So she knows she needs to stop, especially PG officers and PG County. So she knows good well she know better.
I'm clutching my
I
pearls.
can't say for Candace, but I know Liddell, she needed to get it together and stop acting like a little punk. Because you know you're from D.C. You have to get out there acting brand new. And then you know good well you a hood rat. So please, get it together.
Oh, Foxy,
I'm sorry, I ain't meant to go off.
Look, too late, you done got it out. Listen, I'll be in D.C. in about 4 to 6 weeks. So listen. Producer Jay, I'm going to get you.
But she is a hood rat. You a hood rat. You know good and well you're from D.C. and you live in Maryland. And PG County is no better than D.C. So they got hoodish areas in PG County too. And most likely you from the hoodish part of Maryland, PG County. Most likely you probably over there in Palmer Park, out there on up there on Landover Road or somewhere in the hood. And then you want to get over there where you all are and act brand new. Hood rat, please sit down and stop acting brand new.
Well, Fox to Roxy, look, I appreciate you calling in.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I'm going to tune in. I'm going to go check out some of your show.
Because every time y'all have a meeting, I go live and let people know that, you know, and I talk to them about, and I say, let's support Miss Tanya Burns because she's fighting a fight by herself at times. And, you know, we need to help her. And we need to get it out here that, you know, that they need help and they need help to stop the police from harassing the residents so they can get the business done and stop with the petty and with the other two, the little cat and the hens, to sit up there and act like they prima donnas, and they're both hood rats. So that's all I got to say. And I just want to tell you I love you. I got your back, and I'm going to keep having you back.
Look,
You
and I'm sending you love too. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Have a good night. And oh, by the way, and producer, I love you too. Keep her straight and next time you keep him straight.
That part.
That part, and then
all right, bye-bye. Oh, listen, producer Jay, are there any more calls in the bank? We're going to talk about, too, what happened with LaShawn, because I guess Lulu called Mari's mother. We got a lot to talk about. So we're going to pick the date, look for producer Jay, probably sick of me, but we're going to put it up. We're going to try to do these like at 2 hours. That didn't work. We failed today. Sorry, y'all. And I cut a lot of stuff off, too. So we got to have a good show. Our next one. And if it's not tomorrow, it's going to be Tuesday. But we're going to get the context. I need to get everything caught up. So producer Jay, anything you want to say? Producer Jaden, he ain't talking to me. He tired of me. Now he didn't. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, don't y'all be feeling sorry for producer Jay. Comes to me, I called him late. You know how many times him and Steve called me late doing sound checks and stuff we had to do in the middle of the night. Literally, don't feel sorry for him. Hey, Carl Lewis Burke, William 724. Lynn, listen, don't y'all feel sorry for producer Jay. I'm just gonna tell y'all because he be calling like it's 12 noon. You know, I'm telling Angela Lynette. Producer Jay, what is you doing?
Detector test determined that was a lie. Detector test determined that was a lie.
He would call me in the middle of the night. I mean, literally. Be like, we got to get stuff done. Because we was getting this YouTube page set up in Kawana. And look, if I didn't call y'all name, y'all know it's been a lot going on. And George is my mind and at my heart. But you did used to call me at any time, just like it wasn't nothing. I think now you'll send a text and be like, are you up?
No, I'm going to call you. You know, I don't mind staying up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I don't have a choice.
Anyway, so our next one. So I don't know.
Carl Lewis said he has something to say.
Who?
Carl Lewis.
Oh Lord, have mercy. We about to look. Okay, Carl, is he calling in? Is Carl on the phone?
Not yet. I'm reading the chat.
Oh, because Carl Lewis probably got a whole bunch to say. Carl Lewis did a Councilman Mays. He did a Councilman.
He got put out.
He got put out too. Wait, is he on the list? Let me look and see.
He got put out a couple of weeks ago.
All right, listen. Oh, you know who I didn't put on the list because we don't know his name. Man in the blue shirt.
Well, wait. Technically, he didn't get put out. He, man in the blue shirt, got to stay.
No, he got put out.
I thought it was Clerk that got put out instead of the man.
Clerk got warning.
Okay.
And then they put out because then the man in the blue shirt stood up and was saying, "Well, no, it's me, it's me." They weren't trying to hear that. You and your blue shirt, you should have been quiet. We're trying to condemn him. How dare you try to save him?
Hold on, I got a call. It might be Lewis.
That's probably Carl. What? Not Carl. Lewis. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This Carl Lewis only ran for Marshall one time.
Hey, Carl. There he go by Uncle Carl, y'all. How you doing?
Hey, you producer Jay, and hey, look, I just got in, but at the same time, I'm gonna say it like this, and give me more than 2 minutes, cause I got a minute to wrap up. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Listen, I'm past that, but it is that I appreciate you, Tanya, because you know what, you remind me of Tucker and them, and Clack and them, because they stood in the gap wherever it was on the scene. I remember a murder happened in Nestor Club. Tucker and them was on the scene like you. I mean, and you know what? I don't trust the Flint Police Department dealing with the gang shit because they on bullshit. It take people like Rodney. Don't say nothing, Rodney. That's my man. You should have said nothing, but don't say nothing. But you can't play both sides of the coin. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's two sides, you gotta, when it's dealing with our youth today, it's different than back then. And one thing I wouldn't have said nothing, but at the same time, when God on the scene, he gonna make the truth be revealed, and we need the truth revealed. And what's understood, I explain. But I take my hat off to you, Tanya. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you got your CCW, because you might have to be like Trevor, because that's how I'm coming. I'm coming like the goddamn Panthers. Fuck that. That's how they coming. So why would I? And they got masks on. But I'm saying, us as a people, we got to vote. We got to protect our children. And then with this big, beautiful, badass bill going through, they don't understand that now it's in, and I'm glad Chuck Schumer put on the table that y'all need to read almost 1,000 pages to let the American people know what's in the bill. The bill is going to take everything and get rich everything. So that was good there. And it's like, we got to pay attention. Nowadays, and I'm just going to be real with it. The main thing that they always did was flush us with the bull stuff, over here, this and that. But at the same time, at the higher up, and Nickelback doing the same thing. And I just take my hat off to y'all that for, and it's like, we got to stay more attentive to what's going on. And we can't put all the pressure on y'all. We in the neighborhood got to do our thing. Look, I don't mind, but one thing I do, being how cheap green them is, man, these kids don't want to talk to them. You can't get a gang hook up with them because they on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when Mitch and Lloyd and them, we used to talk to them because they was genuine. You know what I'm saying? And everybody ain't playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, my concern is, look, it's the dude like me, Rodney, all up, but you can't be double standard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me tell you this. I watched some of the mess that Rodney put. It was sent to me that he put on Liddell's page. And he riding that fence so hard, it's gonna split him in two. Because he don't even know what he's talking about. And he talking crap about me. Rodney, and I've checked Rodney back a couple years ago because he was talking mess. He was going along with the flow. I called him, but don't get on nobody podcast and put in somebody comments because you kissing their ass. He was kissing their ass and he was wrong. He was on the Dale page.
You 100? No, you 100% right, but I'm going to say this. I've been following this shit since 2014. I'm talking about since the hardwood chairs, but I got involved because of the poison water. That's how I met Art, Melissa Mays. That's how I met them, but at the same time, that's how I met. But I've been met Eric. I met Eric the Hammer Dropper, but I didn't know he was a politician.
Not the Hammer Dropper.
I met him back in 2014. But I used to talk to Mays because I didn't know who my council person was. I called him.
How old are you? You talking about the Nesters Club? How old are you?
62. I just turned 62.
Okay, you talked about the Nesters. I was like, not the Nesters.
I ain't talking about Papa Toppers.
Man.
In the Broham Club. I come from here and I care about where our children gonna go. You know, we already know how the education thing goes. See, they looking at this bullshit down here on the lower level, but we talking about what Trump and them doing with this big, beautiful, fucked up ass bill shit. And thank God the Democrats, Chuck Schumer, put on the table where they got to read almost 1,000 pages. The clerk got to read them and show the American people this was in the bill because they tried to push the shit through. But the Democrats put that block up to where they didn't like the politician, the mega motherfucker, because the politician took all that shit out. But anyway, he gonna have to read this in just 10 hours. But I'm saying I'm paying attention to anything because the top of the chain, the shit come down because Nelly can't do no more than Whitmore allowed, and Whitmore can't do no more than motherfucker Trump allowed. We understand that. Everybody don't understand that shit. But I'm saying, well, we got to get Beverly Biggs and SC. But I'm saying this. I had to fight the government on some bullshit, the drug chip, the clean shit. That was some bullshit. But that's one thing. I hear another. We got to read. We got to but we got to teach our children now. Like Little Flint, that generation there that want to pay attention to what's going on.
So what do you think about? What do you think about when
she checked their ass? The young people know. Oh, you over there whispering and skinning and grinning. But the young people telling you, these people, they not 60 and 50 and 40. They young people like, oh, we see what you're doing. This what you're doing, and this what you gaslighting on. And then here come Neely with this old gaslighting bullshit like he really, he got the authorization over everything, but still he ain't got the authorization over truth. God do. So he can say what he want to and wear all the crosses he want to wear, but at the same time, we ain't got to deal with that. And then the fact come out that before the casket demonstration, we already knew somebody looking. Then here come home where.
So hold on, put a pin in it right there. So Rodney Porter said he was there with the casket. I got to go back to watch that interview, all of it, because I've seen it. Like I need to watch it all together.
Not this lad.
So he said, hold on, Carol. Carol, hold on. So he said he was there at the casket one, and he was downtown. So
he didn't say that.
What did he say then?
Winters asked him a question. Was you downtown? He said, no, I got a call. You know what I'm saying? To watch that person. So everybody, who called? Who called you? How you get a call?
Who did call?
Yeah, Big Flint.
Who is Big Flint? Who? And because that's all over. Who is Big Flint? Is it one Big Flint, 2, 3, 4? Who is Big Flint?
I'm saying, I can't. All I'm saying, Rodney should have came on the stand and about that in the top dog bullshit. He should have, talk about, you got a private 501c3 for the youth. You know what I'm saying? Play that, but don't come out here with the bullshit. And then you gonna say, oh, well, 2 years ago I ain't been involved, and then you jump in the shark lake because we got people around the globe that been following motherfucking Flint shit, and they like, who called you?
Yeah, that's a good point because he was over on the Dale page agreeing with her lies. He was literally agreeing with her lie. So I can't give him. If you assume a truth
hold on. How is that your favorite councilwoman, but you don't read politics?
That part.
Sit back, I'll wait.
No, listen, I'm gonna wait too, because look, I'm gonna smoke a cigar on that one.
Hold on for this day. Tanya Burns is my favorite councilwoman, but I don't know shit about her.
She doing a good job. I'm like, what is he doing? I mean, he shouldn't have did. It was a good interview that Winters did.
No. When you on bullshit with Chris Martin, all these entries, look, they called.
He did say Chris Martin was doing a good job too. He did state that.
Chris Martin ain't doing no good job.
I bet you he might want to take that back today. But he said he was. He said Chris Martin was doing a good job. I'm like, what is this dude doing? Rodney Porter.
I mean, but look at the side, Tanya. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist. He on that side of the track.
So I'm gonna read what he said. Hold on. He posted.
Somebody said you gonna go talk. If you gonna go talk, have a talk with her. He should have said, hell no. He's talking about, I'm gonna go talk to her. See, you incriminate yourself in some bullshit that you don't know about. Cause see, this shit deeper than the rivers go. Because one thing Jedediah is looking at that shit is like a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm agreeing.
No, that shit is real. You know, Rodney should have said shit about that shit. And I would have told a witness, look, I ain't finna get in that shit, but you can't act like you ignorant on one end, but you smart on this end. You feel me?
You're correct. You're
I'm
correct.
I'm serious about this shit, man, because you know what? If it's about that shit, I could have got a 501c3 shining shoes and blocking hat.
So hold on a second. So, Producer Jay, can you put the comment up that I just sent you? Would you be able to do it with him on the phone?
But man, you gotta invite me on your program.
Yeah, but you don't need me on my program. You need to just use the platform. You don't need me to talk about that. You don't need me.
You know what? I'm gonna say this because for real. This on some real stuff because I had my mom and my grandma. I had great, powerful women in my life, and I had to learn. I had to go back to school and then study history of our black women. If it don't be for them, we'd probably be enslaved. Shit, still. You make it make sense. I sit back, I wait. And you had the Mormons, you had the Quakers helping Harriet Tubman. So we can't say the outsiders when she needed them to help us. The Underground Railroad. We wasn't even born then. When you study history, and you know what it is. This is where the Jasons and the Jasons and John them come from. And the used people. But this the Quakers' children and the Mormons' great grandchildren.
So listen, I'm gonna read this. So Rodney Porter made the comment about Liddell's post because Lord knows she was talking about counsel. And it says. This is what he wrote. This is truly sad. This is why we can't get anything done through city council. They purposely move this way to interrupt the movement and the cause of the people. So disrespectful to residents of Flint. But they'll try and turn it on members of city council. Sad affair, no matter what. You look at it, shaking my head. Then he was liking other stuff about me. I'm like, dude, you riding the fence so hard. It's gonna be two of you. One side gonna be Rodney, the other side gonna be Porter, because literally, I mean, so I can't roll with him with this because he comments. Liddell's a great person. Christopher Martin is doing a great job, and he been out of it for 2 years, a few years. That sounds like a lie. A lie.
Because I'm gonna say this. He said. He drew back 2.5 years ago, right? So that means you turned a blind eye to what's going on downtown City Hall. Okay, cool. But you can't say you turn a blind eye down there when the people is crying out, coming down there, getting put out, getting beat up. All this 2.5 years. And then hold on. And then you say, oh, this particular person is my favorite councilwoman. How? What she done for the community? What? Because she did this, that. She ain't did shit but stole. That's all she did.
So check this out. But also, hold on, because there's a 501c3. There is a hustle with this. So Winters asked him the question. So did you ever get the money from the mayor? What did he promise you? That he would pay him, through his 501c3. Then he says he didn't get the money. He said, well, Maurice got it. Maurice Moore, he got it. Maurice Moore gave him some money, but the mayor promised him to give him money, but the mayor didn't. So who did Maurice Moore get the money from? I believe he said Trishelle. And so when we look at this and how this was going, so this 501c3, and then he's saying, hey, I got a plug for you if you want to get you a 501c3. The person he's saying to get the plug from the 501c3 is the same person, Motiz, that Mayor Neely put on to be on the Economic Development Board. He put her on there. He wanted to. He sent it up to put her on it. So Motiz, hold on. Motiz created Rodney Porter's 501c3 because he told me 2 years ago. So so the residents don't get nothing unless you got a 501c3 and you plugged in. You ain't getting nothing. And so this is where it has to stop. And I'm looking how he commenting on stuff, and I ain't feeling it.
Criminal shit. That's criminal. That's conspiracy shit. But I'm saying this.
That's racketeering and RICO is what it is.
Everybody been saying Neely been weaponizing the police, but you weaponizing the goddamn community. Rodney is not no secret agent or CIA or DEA or nothing. He a resident. And then for you to say the mayor did this, that, and that means the mayor didn't reach out to weaponize against the man with a peaceful protest. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Whether they come over the month, they've been, Louisiana, how many caskets and walk down the street when people got gunned down? I'm talking about over 20, 30 years. In Louisiana, this is what they do. When a loved one, they feel some kind of way, this is what they do. Oh, it's a different. And then Miss Taylor, I think it was Miss Taylor, one of our mothers, that brought it out. We did this in Lansing. But the buck stopped here with these motherfucking deaths. See what I'm saying? But short-minded people think like, oh, it was disrespectful. No, it ain't disrespectful when you still allowing this poison-ass water and you ain't gave the residents nothing.
Okay, I want to get back to this, the racketeering, because we look at all these nonprofits. Liddell got $50,000. Then she got $25,000. Leon got over $1.2 or $3 million. Candace had $300,000 she voted on in committee and then sent it to council. Liddell took it back. It is now with State Rep Cynthia Neely. It's now to be approved, and she's a state rep in the House. And so when we look at all these nonprofits, which they went to these churches, and so he used ARPA funds, and he was using ARPA funds. Supposedly, he had promised to pay off Rodney. So when Rodney got on there and did this and talked, I don't know why he did it. I'm like, is he like telling the mayor? Because he kept saying he wanted a part 2. Was his part 2? Because if you don't give me my money, I'm gonna get you the part 2. I'm gonna tell it all.
Right.
Because so what? Hold on, Carol. So what do you think about the money going to the nonprofits?
That means everything. See, point of information. That means look, everything she's talking. Okay, look, it's like this.
That's point of order.
Blame it on the ghetto. But look, that part. We understand it, and it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, ain't nobody else got nothing.
That part.
The residents ain't the money came to be applicated to the residents, and then we knew from the jump street. I did. It wasn't gonna be right there because you gotta understand something about studio shit. He stayed up there in Lansing, and them people up there taught him. He the type of Negro. See, this is what Neely is. He the type of Negro, and you got them. You got the Negroes that adapt to the Europeans. And and he graduated from Northern, and he went up there. He got denied hit, but he was state rep. And so he was mad because he didn't run the mayorship in. So he went up there, and under Snyder and the emergency manager, they taught his ass how to do it like a secret shit. He could run this shit because he run the city like a emergency manager. Same thing. Wife ain't saying nothing. She got so much. She could have did this. Ain't no way. I'm saying this. Ain't no way you a superintendent. You make $160,000 a year, but my students is graduating with the 4th grade education. They can't even write cursive. That falls on your ass. If you don't get that right and don't get it right, I'll come up in the school system. Miss Aldridge was about teaching. Man, I was writing cursive at Parkland School. You feel what I'm saying? We learned how to write cursive writing then at Parkland. So that means to tell me that y'all really don't give a fuck. Y'all, all y'all care about is getting money. And you know what? When it comes to that, that is not the author of this demonstration. Again, when it comes to strong black women that care about their community and the whole, like Tanya Burns and JWC and all that, when it comes to y'all, you know, it's going to be a problem because y'all going against the what they call that, the whatever it is. Y'all going against the norm because you got a person over here, Liddell Lewis. They didn't want her in Maryland, you know. So, and then now the roof is off the bag. You know, you and then Ronnie just said she the only one reached out to me when she reached out to me.
Okay, but hold up. Let me put a pin in that. When is he responsible? Who has he reached out to? It's not just the council people. He has a responsibility. How you gonna have a nonprofit with an advocacy and you don't reach out to all the council people? Then he stated Neely and Liddell wanted him. Hold on, Karen, I know you like talk. Neely and Liddell wanted him to run against Jerry Winfrey Carter. Jerry Winfrey Carter was his friend. Then he made comments like, well, I got somebody who said they'll never work with him in reference to Jerry Winfrey Carter. And she didn't live up to that. And she ain't gonna work with him. How we gonna move the city forward when they ain't gonna even work with the mayor? Because they ain't sitting on his damn patio smoking cigars like you, Rodney Porter. And so my issue, I'm telling it like it is. Because you can't keep straddling that fence. And so when he told me, well, they wanted me to run against Jerry Winfrey Carter, but I told him I couldn't do it. You had a whole conversation. I don't even like all that all over the place. I don't like that.
He said that?
Yes, he said it. Go back and watch it. He said they asked him to run, but he told him he couldn't do it. Go back. It was a good interview.
I knew Aunt Wynn, whatever his name is, I know he want to run against Jerry, but I ain't know what's going on. They want to up to him.
Once was, we going to leave that one. Psst.
One was, he perpetrating the fraud.
That part.
He should have brought his weight machine down there. he was perpetrating fraud. You make it make sense. I'll sit back, I'll wait. He was perpetrating like a bug.
He was at them clubs. They was giving him the business.
He doing with LaShawn Johnson. And I told LaShawn, you know what? And LaShawn from the hood, but like I told LaShawn, I'm voting for Beverly Biggs. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I knew you was running before that, but you jumped in the kitty before. You jumped in the kitty, don't knowing. Mays just trying to put, not Mays. Nearly put you in there. He ain't putting you in there, but I say, I can't vote for you because I'm already voting for her. But Beverly Biggs, so I can't. That's just like if I vote you, Tanya, and then here comes somebody vote you, say, well, even I know him, but I don't know you like that. But you say, well, you know, we cool. I say, look, I can't do that. I already gave my word. And you know, my thing is this. I see new blood. And new blood is we got to start all over. So, you know what I mean?
And we do. So check this out. You mentioned LaShawn. And so Judy was so upset saying,
she smoked the best joint.
Calm her down, let her do her thing. So LaShawn was upset. Judy was upset because she said Beverly brought a bra. and Beverly brought 2 bras.
That was months ago, man.
No, hold on. What LaShawn is not telling people is that she gave the second bra to Bev because she said she need to pull her boobies up. Now, you can't condemn Beverly without condemning LaShawn if it's a problem. LaShawn gave the second bra. And I don't know if people knew that. Yes.
LaShawn did?
Yes.
You need to roll back that tape. You need to roll back that tape.
He gave it to Beverly to give to her because remember, she signed, she was helping Bev sign the recall for Liddell. So if they gonna be mad at Bev, be mad at LaShawn too. LaShawn did recall. LaShawn got a bra. Whoa. So I mean, you do one without the other.
She got them. Oh, Judy got them. Oh, titties that hang down.
I ain't already talking about no woman's breast, nobody's breastises. Okay.
Well, she makes herself look bad. So me neither, because you know what, black women dress look better than her, but you know she walks.
We ain't get ready to have. We ain't get ready to talk about this. Let's turn to something else. What do you want to see done at City Council? What do you want to see done with the city?
The first thing I want to see done at City Council is Beverly Biggs win that seat, because you know what, y'all playing chess. Nearly playing chess, but they puppeteers. You know what I'm saying? They didn't come in knowing what the fuck to do like, but they told us what it was gonna be like. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm saying I want Beverly Biggs in that. Not that she gonna, you know, she is gonna stir up the kitty, but I'm saying she want what's right for the residents of Flint. She ain't down with that program shit. And see, Nearly, he like puppets. You know what I'm saying? He like motherfucker. If you say something, yes, master. He like owning some Uncle Tom and Sambo shit.
Wait, Uncle Tom wasn't bad. We didn't learn, but Samboing and cooning and shucking and jiving and the stepping and the fetching.
Okay, since you said
and
that.
Jigabooing. Those were the things that you know. You cannot.
I know you studied in what your history is. Let me say this. Uncle Tom was the type of person, you going to get your ass whooped. He going to come tell you and tell the slave master. Sambo was the type, he going to play it off and tell you like, they finna hang you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But they both, but one slept in the master house and one slept out on the slave. You know what I'm saying? So, but we had to play the role to stay alive. You dig what I'm saying? Like now, you know, it's I'm a type of motherfucker. I've been got my legs cut off. I be like, you know, Chicken Joe. They ain't cut my shit off because I'm running. I ain't finna deal with this shit. I'm gone. I'm gone. Bloodhound, catch me as you can. I was swimming through the swamp. Did you hear about alligator Alcatraz?
Mm-mm.
Well, Trump killing a migrant, sent a whole 5,000 migrants. ICE already contained 58,000 migrants. They building this down there in a swamp in Florida. It's called Alligator Alcatraz because he couldn't open up the old Alcatraz because it condemned, and the governor wouldn't allow it. So he building one down in Florida, the swampland, the Everglades, called Alcatraz. Alligator Alcatraz. That means, you know, he said it. We ain't got to worry about them escaping because once you escape, you got alligators and pythons. What they do, this Everglades ain't nothing but pythons and alligators. It's called Alligator Alcatraz for real.
Yeah, because Alcatraz didn't work. Some of them, but they got away, swam across, or whatever they did. So interesting.
Look, no, this is real, Tanya.
No, I'm saying I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. So, Carl, it is going on midnight, and you've been on 20 minutes.
You know what? You do 5 hours. I just got on. You good for 5. If you don't do nothing else, producer day, you good for 5. But you know what? When you gotta look up stuff, and I say this about you, and I ain't gonna blindside you. I say that she a councilwoman, she a mother. She a grandmother.
No, I'm not a grandmother. I want to be.
Hold on. You gotta look up all this shit, political shit, study shit. You just can't come off the cuff saying bullshit. Then you had these two shootings that wasn't normal. Channel 12 ain't gonna tell the real, because crime down according to them in lyrics. You dig what I'm saying? But then, like I said, I'm gonna say this again. I wouldn't trust what's the chief name? Green. I wouldn't trust him to lead shit because they on some bullshit. They don't mean us no good. So, but at the same time, you can't have guys that playing both ends. Like I can't go to somebody I know that's in the gang or whatever and then say, man, I want to holler at you, but at the same time, holler at the mayor. I can't do that. No, this shit is grassroots. It got to be real because to stop the flames that's flowing because, this shit is real. Now, the police, they going to do, background checks, you know what I'm saying? He got a felony. It's deep. We don't got the same police that we had with Mitch and Lloyd, that, took that shit out the ring and deal with our youth where they can't help what they in. Shit, they done been through COVID. They done been through all kind of wretched stuff. They don't know what the fuck going on. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm saying it can't take you can't be on two different sides. I don't feel we don't need the police for shit because they ain't about shit. Shit. What they about?
So
you get in the elevator, they jump on you. Look what they did to Sister Savage. They jumped on me for operating under the floor. I got beat up down in the elevator because I went raising my nuts twice. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Hey, that's on record. Thank you.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna be on here. I ain't doing 5 hours because we're gonna be on every day. And each day we're gonna come on because we are chronicling. We got a 6-part series because there are things like your voice, and I don't know if you were reading the chat. You got people who are agreeing with you and understand what you're saying and at your points. And so, and here's the thing with me: you have to allow space for everybody in our community.
Amen.
That means people like Sandy, people like you. That means people like Stanley. It means people like Jasmine Stanley. Stanley Wood, then Jasmine Stanley. It has to include everyone and allow space. And if you don't allow space, then you have people who feel they're disenfranchised.
Like Chris Martin.
Well, Chris Martin is he a part of Flint ain't real because
he said the Kansas City Chiefs were gonna win the Super Bowl. Who told him that? The Holy Ghost didn't tell him that.
I think it is the most disgusting thing that underneath the guise of I am a pastor, minister, or clergy, and you continuously show that you are not a real man of faith. And I don't know who put out, we're going to talk about all those text messages and whoever that put all of that out, because that stuff is just crazy. And we're going to go all the way back to where, Chris Martin talked about the LGBTQ community. What is your fear with the LGBTQ community? What is it that you feel you have to name call them all the time? Stay out of people's bedrooms.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. There's been a lot of homosexuality in the religious world, but we ain't got time for that. We're trying to.
Oh, absolutely. The Catholics. I was watching one with a documentary.
Chris Martin showed what side he on, and that's why they can't stand out. That pastor Matthews, he called that butt out. Come on,
Reverend Matthew Holt Smith.
Even though he is what he is, but I'm saying he's saying let's do this for the city and for the city of Flint. Let's do this. Can you do that? No, you can't say that because you took that envelope behind the scenes. Like a lot of y'all been taking them envelopes. That backdoor deal, and y'all can't say nothing. That's why y'all can't stand up. Y'all stand up. Then you got Harris come down there. You got two Harris come down there like moles come down there, perpetrators. You know what? I can never catch Doug down there. Because if I ever catch Doug down there, I ain't going to slap him.
I'm going to get you off the phone. Carl, I'm getting you off the phone. So listen, I will be having Carol. Carol's gonna do a late night chit chat.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave y'all for y'all weekend. Doug says some foul stuff, cause he knows some words and all that old delivery with it. He gonna play on words and then hit her with some racial shit. I got something for his ass, and I ain't gonna hit him, but when I'm gonna hit him with, he'll be hit.
Well, he'll be trying to get a little PPO because they're the PPO people. So Carl did not mean any physical threat or violence. And he did not make that on the Tanya Burns show. So the views of Carl Lewis are the views of Carl Lewis and not the views of the Tanya Burns. He's not going to hit that man.
I love y'all.
Okay, look, we get ready to get you off of here. I will be having Carol on for a late night chit chat. And Carol gonna probably do all the talking when she on.
Well, you take strap. Forget that. You got your CCW. You don't trust nothing. All right.
All right. Hey, listen. When you coming back on?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get started. I'm gonna come on tonight. We was on last night.
Oh, okay. Okay. Look, I think I'm in the bed.
But I'm trying to get the people woke on this big, beautiful, bad bill. All
right, well, Carl, we ain't getting into that. We didn't cover that. I'm gonna let you go and thank you for calling in. You've been on a whole half hour. And we ain't doing 5 hours there. I'm sending you everybody. That's Uncle Carl. Thank you, Carl, for calling in.
That part, appreciate y'all.
Listen, look, on the Tanya Burns show, we keeping it real. And so when you call in, y'all know you can't stop Carl talking. Yeah, you cannot stop him. He's gonna say what he want to say. He's going to say whatever it is he wants to say. So, Producer Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
We did not do like we said we were gonna do.
You didn't.
Really? Okay.
When I took my absence, I had to go take that little absence. I had already knew what time it was, so I had to go and do something downstairs. So,
oh Lord, okay. Hey, Jessica.
but Carl Lewis,
AI generated speeches. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Court. We went to court. And it's been twice. You were there the one time that when you came, Producer Jay, and Doug is frustrating the judge. He keeps telling the judge that who we can have as our attorneys. Then he told the judge that he wasn't fair, he wasn't doing his job, and then he told the judge that he wanted the judge to recuse himself, and he wanted the chief judge. He was trying to tell the judge how to run his courtroom. So the judge told him, Judge Newblatt told him, you need to understand, Mr. Matthews, this is my courtroom. I run my courtroom the way that I want to. That's why I went to law school. That's why I went to judges school. You are neither one. What you need to do, Mr. Matthews, is understand that this is not Burger King. You will not have it your way. I am a Frank Sinatra kind of guy, which means I'm going to have it my way. Now, as long as you understand that this is my courtroom, I will run this my way. You need to understand that again. Then he told him, the judge told him, he says, now, as far as your other request to have me recused, because you would like to go to the chief judge, you want your case to be heard by the chief judge. You're going to have a problem there because I am the chief judge. I am the chief judge. So I will put it in, but I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to change. One, because I don't know you. It's not a conflict. Two, I've never met you before you came here. Three, there's nothing for me to have against you. Besides, you don't understand how a courtroom is run and works. Now, didn't Doug say he was an attorney before? He taught law school. He did all of these things, which is being brought into question because the judge was saying, I'm not having it. You will not come in here with your magic and thinking you're going to control this. No, you won't. I want the chief judge. By the way, I am the chief judge. I'll take this to another judge. So I don't know where it's going to be months. Who knows? Weeks. So when we get this, more threads said, when is the next council meeting? July 23rd. July 23rd. So he keeps telling Judge Newblack, which is so disrespectful, how to run this court. Along with shaking his head the whole time he's in, when the judge is talking, he's shaking his head like no and just in disagreement. So it is very hard to watch that because the judge, when you see Doug doesn't get it and he doesn't care. It's like he comes to the council meeting, he just blurt off everything. He just keeps blurting off things like, how dare you stop me? I'm Doug and my white privilege every single time. I'm Doug with my white privilege. Doug said one cuss word, Elizabeth Taylor said one cuss word, and Candace, a black councilwoman, put out the 80-year-old black lady, Elizabeth Taylor, and let Doug stay the white man. Put them both out if it's a problem with vulgarity. But really, how can you say you can't have vulgarity? Candace, when you were the first one to tell people, what the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do? Huh? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I guess little CC wanted to fight that day. And Liddell calling people bitches. She don't like vulgarity now. She called Pfeiffer a bitch in the garage, called me a bitch when she was sitting in her wrong seat, violating the Flint City Charter, violating rules of decorum, violating Robert's rules. But they don't like vulgarity. Only when others are using it, because they use it all the time. So I just want to say this to each and every one of you. This has been real. Producer Jay, anything you want to close with? Look, y'all, I couldn't do this without Producer Jay. So if you can donate to Producer Jay, Cash App, $1987. It's been along at the bottom of the crawl. And I want to say thank you to my mods, Sheena Beckton, and also Patrick Jean, because we cannot keep the discussion great and keep the topics hot and keeping the flow without all of them. Literally, y'all, we move as a group where we do our work and do our due diligence, making sure that we're knowledgeable of all topics that are going on, so that when you come on here, you can get the facts and you can trust them. So we got a week. If it's something that you want to talk about, inbox me as we do our week of how did we get here? Flint City Council. How did we get here? So Producer Jay, thank you for your time and your energy. Sorry I kept you up to for something last night, going over stuff. I appreciate you. And to all of those, come on, Mac, you have a good night and you be safe. M. Kersey, you have a good night too. From the 856, Producer Jay, anything you want to close with?
No, ma'am. Good show.
Okay. Well, all right. I appreciate each and every one of you, and to the moderators, Sheena Beck, Patrick Jean. I hope y'all have a wonderful, blessed night. And to Foxy 2, to Roxy 3, have a good evening. And to Berta Baby, Julian 2724, and to Tara. Look, I can see the Jarvis Patrick, Tia Austin. Look, I can see the stuff now, y'all, because I ain't got to read all them people. The VIP room with Flint Caskins, Gutter Black, hey. Sandy Odell, Sandy, we're keeping you in our prayers. Listen, so if we said anything that I missed anything, charge it to my mind, not to my heart. I'm sending everybody love, peace, and understanding. The Andre Jones, you have a good night. So,
oh yeah, and one thing about Liddell.
Hold on, 580 Mafia Records. I just thought that sounded gangster. Go ahead.
And since Liddell over there doxing people now from her real page instead of one of them
fake, really is.
Instead of one of them fake pages, I just got one thing to say to you.
Oh God, though I have not approved this, y'all. What is he doing?
You's a nasty black lady.
And she is doxing people. She doxing the mess out of Councilman Jarrett. She is. And it's unbelievable. He has been their fifth vote twice, and they ran him off this week. 1 week, fifth vote twice. They ran him off. Grandma. Queen Hanifa. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Hey. And Michael Clack, I hope I kept you company. You called with that, oh, let it be 3 hours. And it went way over. So listen, thank you to everyone who joined in and tuned in. We will be back every day. Look for the posting. Hit the click, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell. Hey, Avis. And Avis, thank you. Good night to you. So hit that also. And if it's something you specifically want me to look into, we're going to talk about it. I want everybody to have a wonderful, blessed night. And we start a new week with a new beginning tomorrow. Wait a minute. Are we bringing in? Listen, wait a minute. Are we not bringing in tomorrow together? Am I missing this?
You got to, it's 12 now.
Is it 12 now? Look, happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Oh, anyways. Oh, Jessica Stewart, a nasty black lady going around looking like a little book under a 50-year-old red shack.
I just think somebody need to go get their uncle.
We getting off of here. Y'all have a good night. Have a good night, everybody.